That dang! Hello, hello, hello! What's up tonight, everyone? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Fine Thursday to y'all, and Panharmonicon Day to y'all. Hey, what's up, Mike? How are you? Good to see you, good to see you, good to see you, dude, man. Yeah, I don't know why they changed that bell since like a week ago. Death by Admiration, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you, Lucid, good to see you. What are you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. How is everyone tonight? You knew it was coming. I couldn't resist. It is Panharmonicon night. We got a new Panharmonicon, and honestly, I mentioned this on social media. It's been growing on me. What are you doing? And also, Rose Public, welcome to the Fishbowl for September. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Dr. Chandler, Autism Gaming, welcome. Good to see ya. Hopefully, you've all been enjoying some Wilds of Eldraine action. I gotta say, when I first saw Virtue of Knowledge, my take was probably the worst Panharmonicon ever, but I really underestimated just how good the adventure mode is. The adventure mode is actually kind of effective. So that's the part that has really sold me on this card, being a lot better than I thought. Being able to like copy a fetch land trigger, copy a ETB trigger in the early game, actually surprisingly powerful. So hopefully everyone is having a wonderful Thursday. Eagle, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So we are starting with Gruff Panharmonicon. I really want to Gruff triplets, but not triplets. It'll be like, I don't even know what the word for 5 is. Octuplets? No, that's a, what is the word for 5? But make 5 of them. I want many Gruff triplets thanks to my Panharmonicons. If we get multiple Panharmonicons, oh my goodness, we had so many triplets to the battlefield. So that's goal number 1. Make a bunch of triplets, see what happens. We got some other Panharmonicon decks. Quintuplets? Is that 5? What is 4? Quad. Okay, quintuplets. That makes sense. That makes sense. And then we have a blue-white Panharmonicon deck, and we might build a battle Panharmonicon deck. I forgot that battles are all ETB triggers. So we could probably build a sweet battle deck as well. So that's the plan for today. All Panharmonicons, all night, different builds, different brews, starting with Guff triplets, Lucid for the 41st month, and Infinity for Squirtle with the 2-year resub. Hopefully all is well with you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All the doubling today for my 2 years. Yeah, we doubled up the years in the sub. Big soups here for both of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So reminders, replay YouTube. That's where you can find all the old streams, including this one in the future. Normal YouTube. Tons of stuff going up on there. Lots of Wilds of Eldraine action. Yesterday we did some infinite comboing. Tomorrow's deck is our last early access day deck. Next week we get back to best of 3 action. Tomorrow's deck is actually pretty interesting. We're doing some Channel Fireball comboing, the 2023 edition. So definitely check that out. Hey, what's up, Bear? You gotta chill, bud. I'm streaming. If you're gonna palm me, then you gotta come say hello to people. Where are you? Come here. Come here. Did you just kick your food over? Don't kick your food over. Come here, Bear. Come here. You gotta say hi. Come here. Come here, bub. Ooh, come here. Come here. Say hi to the people. Say hi. Say hi to everyone. They don't see you too much. They see Cece a lot. Hey, buddy. See? Yeah, everyone's looking at you. Yeah, look at your heavy breathing, you heavy panting puppy. Yeah, you good boy. Are you gonna be good while I stream? Oh, you're gross, bud. Why are you so drooly? Oh, look at that. You gross dog. All right, look out, Bear. Look out. Look, or stay here and stream with me. One or the other. Either bark at the counter spells or go take a nap. Okay. One or the other. One or the other. Tuka buddy, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you. So I do love Bear. Welcome to the Fishbowl. He is kind of gross though. Thank you so. He's like so drooly. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. A reminder that our sponsor today is not Bear, although it could unofficially be Bear. It's Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can go to cardkingdom.com/ftgoldfish. Even get a free goldfish sticker. Just let them know you want one in your order notes, and they'll hook you up. Otherwise, merch page, tokens, t-shirts, playmats, donations, always appreciated. Every required $2 or more. Get your message on Red on stream. And let's Panharmonicon. So what's the idea of this deck? We're playing all the sweet ETBs, and we are doubling or tripling the ETBs with Elish Norn, Mother of Machines, in Virtue of Knowledge, our new enchantment Panharmonicon. So I was going to call this Selesnya Panharmonicon, because really, it's green-white Panharmonicon splashing for Virtue of Knowledge, which is one of our Panharmonicons. So in the early game, we're hitting our land drops, we're drawing some cards. Woodland Acolyte, one of the sweet new additions to this deck, can get back our Panharmonicons if they die from the graveyard. ETBs draw cards. We're Fox bodyguard removal, plus it does some sweet shenanigans with our own creatures. Topiary Stomper ramping us, because the big payoff, what are we really trying to do with this deck? We are trying to stack up Panharmonicons and then play Gruff Triplets. Gruff Triplets, one of my sleeper picks from this set. So 6 mana 3/3, not a good start, but when it ATBs, if it's not a token, you make 2 copies of it. But if we have a Panharmonicon on the battlefield, we'll actually make 4 copies of it. If we have 2, then I don't even know, I can't count that high, 1,000,000, I guess. But then when one of the Gruff Triplets dies, it puts its power in counters on the other Gruff Triplets, so they get really, really big really quickly. We could get Wrath, but as long as we don't get Wrath, the Triplets are quickly going to take over the game. ArioSW! Hey, what's up, Stone Raid? Good to see you, good to see you. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, cease. Do you need to... Okay, come here, come here. Here you go. It's okay, here. For the cat lovers, it's only fair. Yes, I know. I know we got some dog people and some cat people. Cece wanted in on the action too. Say hello. Say hello. Yeah, you good girl. You're good too. You're good too, Cece. Okay, you can go back to your nap. There you go. All right, so we've seen all the pets. So that's the plan of the deck. ETB value for days. Also worth noting, one of the cool tricks with this deck is Virtue of Knowledge copying the fetch land trigger, the adventure mode, to double ramp. Can also double Topiary Stomper. We got a bunch of basics. Sideboard, bunch of removal, bunch of counter spells, pretty much it. Also some battles for the aggro matchup. If we run to mono red, can you beat our Invasion of Dominaria? For a life in a card, can you beat it? So that's deck number 1. That's what we're starting with. Hey, how are you, Stone Rain? Good to see you. Good to see you. I know I do need a goldfish. Don't. So this weird situation. Did I tell you about my brother's cockapoo? Do we have this conversation? I'm trying to figure out. I need your advice, chat. You're very wise when it comes to pet problems. So here's my current pet problem. My brother and his girlfriend. My brother's on BYU. My brother and his girlfriend got this puppy. Then they realize, oh no, like we're really busy, so we can't have the puppy. So we need a place to put the puppy. Benny, how are you? Good to see ya. So we need a place to put this puppy for like 6 months during the basketball season. So it's like this little 9-pound cockapoo, which is like the highest maintenance, hair in front of the eyes. You gotta like clean its eyes and put pole balm on it. It's like the exact opposite of Bear. I like Bear because he's a big, lazy, low maintenance dog. This is like the little yippy high maintenance dog, the very like direct opposite of Bear. He's trying to find a place to put it for 6 months. Do you think it would work? Do you think I could adopt this puppy for 6 months? Would it work with Cece and with Bear? The puppy, so Bear's been around it. He's adjusting to it. The puppy Bear actually loves it. Bear wants to play with it. The puppy is very afraid of Bear. The first time it saw Bear, it just like took off and ran into the other room. Like it was, I don't think I'd ever seen a dog as big as Bear. Bear wanted to play with it. Its little like tail was wagging. Bear wanted to play with it, but the puppy it has the fear of Bear. I don't know what Cece would do. I think Cece's got her claws too. I don't know. I've seen Cece swipe dogs before. If Cece gets annoyed, she is not afraid to let a dog know that she's annoyed and just like whack him across the side of the face. Ooh, we can do our ramp trick. So I don't know. If you have puppy advice, Cece probably would terrorize it, or it would terrorize Cece, one or the other. Yeah, I could put him down in the basement or something, I guess. But then what kind of life is that for a puppy? But I guess like the alternative is it ends up like getting boarded for like 6 months. And I don't think that makes me sad. I don't want to see a puppy get boarded. That's got to be like the worst puppy life. About it. How are you, Benny? How is life been? Oh, opponent is okay. Playing some Atroxes by the looks. I have no idea how this goes. Well, check this out, chat. The coolest trick of this deck, now that I figured out how to do it, boom, Broker's Hideout. Oh, it's a bad fetch land from Streets of New Capenna. But if you have a Virtue of Knowledge, it's actually kind of absurd because we can copy. You got to go full control and copy this second trigger. We learned this in the past, and you get to ramp twice instead of once. It's basically mono blue rampant growth that requires you to play janky fetch lands, but essentially the same thing. We're gonna get double forest here for gruff value. And we'll pass the turn, so we can play a Panharmonicon next turn. Actually, ooh, how tricky do we want to get? So we could Upkeep Woodland Acolyte to get back the fetch land, to double copy the fetch land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would get us to 7. And then the next turn we can Panharmonicon double. Oh. Well, all of our tricks might not matter if our opponent's just ramping this much. Do we have to chump the Topiary Stomper? That's depressing. How come you don't play standard decks in paid events on Arena? Does anyone play the events on Arena? I didn't know anyone actually played the events on Arena. I mostly played them because I thought that was a thing no one did. I thought everyone just played the ladder. Whenever I hear people talking about it, I'm curious, do any of you play the events? Should we be playing events? Would that be better than playing the ladder? I thought everyone just played the ladder. Did I get your email? What was your email about? I know I have like several days of emails about Magic stuff to get back to, so probably, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. But I will, I promise. The Ghost of Deck Faden, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna do it. What's the worst that can happen? So upkeep, Woodland Acolyte, get the land back on the top of our deck, draw the land. I don't know if we're progressing the game, but this value is so good. Broker's Hideout, haha. Instant replay, sack it, trigger 2. Yes, we would like to Panharmonic on that, please. Double trouble, 2 more lands. And this should set us up to do big things next turn. Assuming we're alive. Will we be alive? That's a good question. We could be getting Atroxid already. Used to play in events, but WotC kept cutting down the rewards, raising prices. Now it's pretty much impossible to keep playing free to play. I play midweek Magic. Yeah, I mean, midweek Magic I have played before. I was thinking, oh, and they get to flip it. I was thinking more the like, what do they call them? I don't even know what they call them. The like play and you get to pay and you get to play in like so many rounds. I thought there was a reason no one played that. Maybe it's just the value's not there. Well, let's play a Panharmonicon. Let's play a Ossification. Oh, golly. Okay. Well, that's not great. Beseiju. Well, I guess we get rid of this thing. Oh, our Panharmonicon. I didn't know you were allowed to play interaction. Beseiju. Ban it. Did... Nutroxa. Really? Rafine? What? Alright, well, this is looking pretty bad. I mean, we can, like, Panharmonicon draw some cards, but that just does not... Maybe we're doing this on hard mode. Our opponent just played a single creature and drew 4. Maybe we're putting way too much work into this. Woodland Acolyte. C double could be cool. Is there a pathway forward from here? So we play Virtue. Play a Virtue. Play the Acolyte, draw a couple cards. We're doing such sweet value-y things, but there's an Atroxa. If we splash black for our own Atroxas. I don't know if doubling Atroxa is actually that good, though. I think you just end up discarding a ton to hand size. You end up discarding a lot to hand size anyway. Atroxas are broken, but it has the Ugin problem where it's everything that happened before that point meaningless. Yeah, it does kind of do that, doesn't it? It's got that I dominate the game type of mode as soon as it hits the battlefield. About it hits us to -1. Well, I mean, we're doing cool things, but our opponent just went ramp Atroxa, and none of those things actually mattered. I guess we need Disdainful Strokes. You know what we really need? We really need an Armageddon in Standard. I think we need an Armageddon in Standard. Atroxa should not have been put in a Standard set. I mean, Atroxa's not dominating the meta, so I don't know. I don't know how much we can actually complain about Atraxa. It is a very game-ending card, but it is 7 mana. So that's the good news, I guess. It is expensive, at least. So it's a good Elish Norn matchup if we can somehow get it to stick. Whether or not we can actually get it to stick. Ossification's a little sketchy against Leyline Binding. Stoke of Midnight kills anything. I actually really like Stoke of Midnight, but yeah, I mean, I wonder how much of this is like, that's one of the things I wonder with this new standard setup. So many people are like, well, having a bigger standard will give us more diversity. I think it'll give us more diversity. Well, more options. So that'll lead to more diversity. And I hope that that's what happens. But I think you can also see like, maybe more options just makes the best cards better, which is kind of like the Topiary Stomper thing. Like if Topiary Stomper had rotated, it'd be harder to ramp into Atraxa. So sometimes more options just means you can better support the strongest cards in the format. So it'll be interesting to see how that ends up shaking out like a year or two from now. Sooner or later. Chat, I was wondering this today. Did anyone... Has Wizards announced any more about Standard? Remember when they announced the rotation changes? Oh, we will definitely be teaching Arena Zoomers about Blood Moons. That's going to be happening. Definitely going to be happening. Remember when they announced the rotation changes and they said, oh, we're going to do a bunch of like other stuff. A bunch of other announcements are coming. Have we seen any of those and I missed them? I'm curious because it's been like, I checked today. It was like the beginning of May they announced the rotation changes. So I was hoping that we'd get some more of the follow-up stuff by now. The like, oh, here's the other pieces of this puzzle, but I haven't noticed them unless I just keep missing them. Invoker lands. Ooh. Wow, that is... This deck is... There's no... I'm so confused. I don't Are we playing a 91 card 0 land deck? Is this a list of cards? I'm so confused. What is the idea of this deck, Fluffy Lumbox? That might be the most confusing deck list that I've ever looked at. Oh, is it just a list of Magic cards? Oh, I think they're all Magic cards. I'm pretty sure they all look like Magic cards to me. What is your idea, Fluffy Lumbox? So I'm assuming, so we're trying to, are these cards that work with Agatha? Is this a list of cards that work with Agatha? So Agatha, I think the challenge with these expensive abilities with Agatha is like, how do you grow Agatha? Because giving a 1-mana discount is not going to do much. You really need to be giving like, if you're going to try to invoker people, you need to be getting like Agatha up to 7 power or something. So that's going to be the question is, what is the best way to keep Agatha on the battlefield and make it big? If you can do that, then you could probably do some really cool things with like invokers and whatnot. But that's kind of the challenge. How you planning on teaching your Zoomers about Blood Moon? I'm gonna have to teach Historic Brawl Zoomers, unfortunately. I feel a little dirty playing playing Blood Moons in Historic Brawl, but I blame Wizards. If they didn't want me to ruin a bunch of poor Historic Brawl players' day, they could have just made Blood Moon legal, even for a little while. Make it legal for like a couple of weeks, so I can make a video and then you can ban it. Where can I send my deck for Commander Clash? I want to send in Mono Red Landfall deck. For it has been playing, and let's just say ramp slot. Ooh. So you can email it to me if you'd like to. The easiest and most common way. The easiest and most common way to submit decks for Commander Clash is on the Commander YouTube. And the Commander YouTube, there'll be a post in the community tab that will have a spot to put deck lists. But you can also just email it to me if you want to, if that's easier. Lana Warloam speaker. There is a viewer submitted Commander Clash coming up soon. So get out your spicy brews. Get them ready. Well, that's Broker's Hideout for a forest. I mean, we don't have any Panharmonicons, but We can ramp into Gruff triplets. We'll see if our opponent has Farewells. Atraxa's Shoulder would make Witness Protection really satisfying to cast. I do love Witness Protection. That is such a cool design. I'm playing you right now. Oh, are we stream sniping? All right, see you, Shadowstale. Good luck with your Atraxas. Would Karmic Justice be good against the odds card? Perhaps playing a bunch of Mindslaver effects to trigger it and blow up their stuff. Ooh. I mean, that would be funny. I guess we'll have to reevaluate it. So the problem with Karmic Justice is it's always only been a legacy legal card. It's never been legal in like Modern or Pioneer. But now that it's on Arena, there could be some cool things to do with it. Does that work? I assume that works, right? So if you control your opponent, I've actually never run into that before. If you Mindslaver your opponent and target your stuff, do you get to blow up their stuff with your Karmic Guide or Karmic Justice? That should work, right? I don't know if there's some weird technicality about like Mindslavering people. Let's play the land. Play a Topiary Stomper. Do a little ramping. Green. So we need one more forest to get to our Gruff triplets. Sorry to repeat, but it feels good. Blood Moon should be legal every blue moon. I like it. I mean, I'd be fine with it being legal all the time, honestly. I see why it's not legal all the time, because if it was legal all the time, is this just like trying to ramp into Atraxa? Is this the game plan here? If it was legal all the time, I think it would make some very salty people who just can't handle it. But Historic Brawl makes it even worse, honestly. Oh, moon it. Atraxa. Archangel of Wrath. Okay. Well, at least it's not an Atraxa. That's a win. And we're gonna slam the Gruffest of triplets and see. I wish we had a Panharmonicon, but even... Ooh, Disdainful Stroke. Are we going to slam a Gruff triplets? Now we have a Disdainful Stroke. We can actually stop Atraxa from resolving. All right, new plan. New plan is wait. We're going to Topiary Stomper. Get another land. Grab a Plains. Pass the turn. Yeah, I think this Disdainful Stroke against the Atraxa tally deck is just too important. Bone adapt land. Eventually they're going to draw a new hand with this Courier's Briefcase. Archangel of Wrath. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Going face. Sure. Combat. Opponent attacks. Well, let's Werefox it. Get rid of the Archangel. Oh, Eternal Wanderer. Huh. Well, okay. Woodland Acolyte. Get back on land. We're doing this in the jankiest way. Woodland Acolyte. Draw the land. Haha, play the land. We have successfully spent 3 cards to hit a land drop. We did it, though. Go to combat. Get in with the Stomper. I mean, next turn we can Gruff triplets and leave up Disdainful Stroke and have an Eternal Wanderer to blink the triplets the next turn. I think the problem with Blood Moon being legal is there's no good way to fix your mana where in Modern you can use fetch lands to fetch basics. That's a good argument. Although we should be getting fetch land shortly, right? Because Cons is coming. So I feel like we will have fetch land soon. I also feel like they will never make it. Like if Wizards will not let Spreading Seas be legal, it is hard to imagine that Blood Moon will ever be a legal card in Arena. I don't think I don't think modern Magic players can handle it. Modern is in like recent Magic players, arena era Magic players. I think there's like, I think it really has to do with how long you've been playing, essentially. Like, how long have you been playing Magic? How much can you handle effects like Blood Moon? If you've been playing for a long time, then Blood Moon is nothing. Like, you're used to those effects. You're used to worse effects. You've played against way worse than that. But if you've only been playing, like, in the arena era and you came over from Hearthstone, a game where you're used to, like, hitting your land drop automatically every turn, the idea that there could be one card that would just be like, hey, most or all of your lands do not work anymore, I think that would just blow people's minds. Well, okay, let's see if they have a counter. Disdainful Stroke. Whoa, it worked. Okay. Triplets time. Triplets time. It's triplets time. Opponent gets in with their Archangel. Sure. Oh. Yes. Yes, we draw land. Well, we will go to combat. We will do a little bit of attacking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, Acolyte can stay back. Get in with the triplets and the stompers. See what our opponent does. Blocks. Okay. Sure. This is going to make our triplets into 6/6s. So opponent goes to 18. Our triplets get big. Eternal Wander. Blink the Acolyte. Is triplets actually good? What if we use Soul Cauldron to easy transform abilities, hard to transform creatures? Ooh, Soul Cauldron could work for that. We have like transform creatures in standard that you could use it. You could use it with. I think the Soul Cauldron's actually a really strong card. Farmhand could flip if... Are you serious? It could flip if we wanted to spend all of our resources on it. That's the question, if it's worth is it worth giving up all of our mana in case we draw like a counter or something? Well, let's play a Panharmonicon. Play a tap land. Can we draw something to go with the Panharmonicon? That was a brutal wrath. Honestly, I mean, in a world of Beseiju, is Panharmonicon even a problem? I don't even know what it is. We can't even stick a Panharmonicon because our opponent just Beseijus it. Would Blood Moon actually be something that stuck around and like dominated games? I'm not sure that it would be. Huh, so we can, all right, Woodland Acolyte. Put, ooh, wait, we gotta think about this. If we do that, 1, 2, 3, 1, oh, okay, Woodland Acolyte, we have a plan. We're gonna get back the Gruff triplets. I was thinking about the Panharmonicon, but I think the triplets is better. Get back the triplets. Play the Acolyte. Draw a card. That's gonna be the triplets. Triplets returns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we got to play the land. Gruff triplets. Got to play the land to play around Make Disappear. So we get the triplets. Triple it up. Eternal Wander. Blink the triplets. All right, do you have another Sunfall opponent? Please no, Magic Gods. Can we just triplet them? Opponent. Land. Says good game. And scoops it up. Oh, we did it. We did it. Sideboard not filled yet, but I wanted to share. Let me see. Die. Banquet of Betrayal. Ooh. Some Tezzeret action, eh? Food Fight is a cool card. I'm sure we will play some Food Fight at some point. 11,000 needles! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Give them the gruff. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat for you. Thank you. So the idea is we make Food Fight tokens with Collector's Vault. Got a bunch of cantrips. That's definitely a cool looking deck. I wonder. I wish there was. I wonder if, like, you know what might be great in this deck is Chromo Seed Shark. I was wondering, like, is there a way we can turn all of these cheap cantrip spells into artifacts for food fight only called Anvil? It might be Chromo Seed Shark. That might be the perfect way. Like, yeah, the incubates are going to be tiny, but what do you care if you're food fighting them or like Tezzeretting them? So I might consider trying to, if not in the main deck, at least in the sideboard, like a bunch of Chromo Seed Shark seems really good. Let me see, Thingam. Also, hello, Thingam. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Do we want to change anything? I found Invasion of Gabakon to not be very good against this deck. The problem with Invasion of Gabakon is our opponent makes so much mana that they can usually just do their thing for 2 more mana. It's like, oh, Atraxa takes an extra turn or 2, but that doesn't really matter because we're not going to win within that turn or 2 very often. Pia, eh? Ooh. Yeah, I think Pia with Adventures, probably one of the better adventure payoffs. There's not a lot of like straightforward straightforward Edgewall Innkeeper style payoffs, but Pia is a pretty cool reward for playing stuff from Exile. I think that maybe some sort of Pia adventure aggro deck could actually be kind of good in Standard. That'd be worth trying at least. I like the idea of it. That looks sweet. Well, 1 land, no keep. Well, all right, we got a negate. That's something. At least that can stop something someday, maybe. Double Topiary Stomper too. How many Panharmonicons are we running? We are running 4 Virtue of Knowledges, 2 Elish Norn Mother Machines. So I guess that would be 6 total. Well, Topiary Stomper. Grab a forest. All right, no whammies. We want shields down. Please don't do something huge this turn. Invasion of Zendikar is pretty huge. Opponent going to double ramp. Cannot negate an Atraxa, unfortunately. Not actually possible. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we just play Stomper. I think we're just gonna copy the Stomper trigger. We're gonna go shields down again. Our opponent already did their big ram thing, so can't stop the Atraxa anyway. So double Stomper. This also turns on the Stomper, which is nice. Green, 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 green. All right, get a plains. Get a island. And hit you for 4. I mean, see, even the like spell mode on Virtue of Knowledge is pretty good. That's the part that's kind of sold me on this. Hey Seth, with fairies coming to Arena, what do you think about adding all the Modern Horizon set? Do you think adding all the Modern Horizon sets would bring enough of the meta to create a modern light format on Arena? So, yes and no. Would it create a modern light format? I think it could. Like, if you added both Modern Horizon set, you could definitely create a format that was something sort of akin to Modern. Like, that would definitely be a possibility. How enjoyable the format would be another question. I think that's another question. I think for me, what I really enjoy about formats like Modern, For me, what I really enjoy about formats like Modern is the diversity. There's just so many different things you can do. And a light version of the format probably wouldn't have that. So that's the... Ooh, there's the triplets. So that's the part that I'd be missing. But you could certainly make a new format out of it. It would be cool if they kept going that direction. Oh, God. Well, that's a pretty good one. Breach the Multiverse. From our deck, our opponent gets a... Oh, God. Oh, that's... Well, okay. That is very unfortunate. Wait, that's actually just game, right? fan of power creep, but that's what it takes to make alchemy cards already on historic irrelevant. I mean, we know we're getting Modern Horizons 3, so I'm sure we'll get some power creep there. Yeah, I don't know what they do with the alchemy cards. Yeah, that is. I mean, that's literally just game. Well, maybe we were too greedy not to leave up Negate. I was not expecting Breach the Multiverse. That's not a card that these decks usually play many of. It's usually, you don't play it in the main deck and maybe you play like a copy in the sideboard, so I don't know. I think it was okay to like tap out and draw 2 there, but certainly didn't work out. And now there's not even any point in continuing because we just cannot function with our opponent having an Elish Norn, our Elish Norn on the battlefield. Do you think that MH3 is going to make Modern better or worse? Probably both. It probably depends on how you feel about what you want out of Modern. I think it will rotate Modern, most likely. I think we'll see many new staples that are like incredibly impactful and the best cards in the format. That's kind of been the history of Modern Horizons, right? I think that's a negative, personally. Like, for me, I don't like that aspect of Modern Horizons. On the other hand, we've seen Modern Horizons add a ton of stuff to power up, like, lower tier archetypes, janky archetypes. Some of my favorite decks have been, like, really influenced. Remember, like, Shaman? That got, like, the Shaman Panharmonicon thing. Decks like Merfolk suddenly became, like, kind of decent because of additions when they just really couldn't compete before. So I think Modern Horizons has so many good things, but then it also just has to put those, like, over-the-top, $50, gotta sell packs, make the format more expensive. Like, it just can't resist putting those cards in there. Maybe that's just how economics works, sadly. Like, maybe it's just Wizards has to sell packs, and the way you sell packs is to put the really push cards at Mythic. So I think it'll be a little from column A, little from column B. Elish Norn is pretty good against our deck. Pretty good in our deck, but yes, it's also good against our deck. The thing is, no one really plays Elish Norn. It's like, no one really plays it. Sometimes Mono 8 has like a copy somewhere, but it's not really heavily played. But I guess if you can steal it from our deck, it does get us. I'll grab a Forest. Grab a Plains. I mean, we ramp into Panharmonicon. See what happens. So awkward, I thought it was you. I logged in during sideboard to check out, then logged off. Then I knew it was you when the sideboard took forever. Well, good game, Shallow State, if we were just battling it out there. Yeah, let's just play Panharmonicon. Come on, opponent, please tell me you're not playing enchantment removal. Jund is a color that will potentially have enchantment removal in the main deck. It's just Panharmonicon, opponent. We just want to draw some cards. Please? Okay, they didn't blow it up at instant speed. Forest. Okay. Well, they didn't blow it up at any speed. Well, we get to untap with a Panharmonicon. That's pretty good. Spirited Companion. Agnes. I have not seen many Agneses. Draw 2. And then Broker's Hideout. Grab a land. And pass the turn. Ooh. We have our Werefox Bodyguard. We have our Gruff. If our Panharmonicon sticks, this is going to go well. Riveteer's Requisitioner. Not blue. What is our opponent playing? All right. Werefox Bodyguard. No Agnes for you. Yeah, opponent's playing actual Haste Tribal. I didn't know that was a thing. One of the nice things about Werefox Bodyguard is we can exile our own things to later get them back to work with our Panharmonicons. So it's like our removal that also is like a weird synergy piece. Oh. Okay, fight rigging. That's a little frightening, and that's a little frightening. Hey, Seth, I'm wondering about the decision to have 3 different MTG Goldfish channels. Is it better for business? It's a good question. So ideally, the upside of having 3 different Goldfish channels is they're all kind of specialized, and it allows you to find the content that you want, but not all the content that you don't want necessarily. So I know for the podcast is like maybe the best example. Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna gruff it. If you can beat the gruffs, you can beat the gruffs. So we're gonna add 5 3/3s to the battlefield, and if you start killing them, they're gonna get really, really big. So, do we even attack? Let's just pass. All right, opponent, can you beat the gruff? The gruff triplets. So the podcast is actually a very good example. The podcast is not very popular on YouTube for the most part, but what is it? Every deck just to breach the multiverse deck? So the podcast isn't very popular on the main YouTube. The audio cast is very popular though. So we kind of we did the audio cast, and then people were like, "Oh, it'd be nice to have it on YouTube." So we decided to do it, but it kind of goes up at the same time as. How is it that every single time our opponent breached the multiverses to steal our Elish Norn? I do not understand. Well, okay. So we will play an Eternal Wanderer. We will take down the Eternal Wanderer. We're going to keep a gruff. Our opponent can keep an Agnes. Our gruff's going to get a little big. And we are going to hit our opponent for 15. Opponent. Takes it down to 15. Yeah, we could have blinked Mom. Why didn't you keep the non-token gruff? So the reason to sack the non-token gruff is we can woodland acolyte back the non-token one this turn. Opponent counter on Agnes. I mean, you need to block or kill the gruff, right? Opponent attacks. So we get to just get it back and do it again. All right, Elish or Eternal Wanderer down. Well, our opponent must have removal, but we are going to get back. Oh, do we just take gruff triplets, or do we draw into the gruff triplets? We could just take card draw. Is card draw better than gruff triplets with Panharmonicon out? It's actually tough. It's always my impulse to just go with card draw, but that's probably incorrect. Just go with the gruff. All right, we'll gruff him. Get back the gruff. I mean, I guess we also have Woodland Acolyte, so we also have card draw. I mean, they gotta have removal for this gruff, right? Or they just literally die right now? This is a 15/15. Why would you make that attack? If you knew you were dead, wouldn't you jump block for a turn? Oh, okay. So apparently everyone is, yeah, that was an interesting attack. So I think the podcast is a good example. A lot of people on the main YouTube didn't want to watch the podcast. So splitting out onto its own channel makes it so if you're someone who wants the YouTube version of the podcast, you can watch it. And if you don't care about watching it because you're listening in your car, you just don't care about podcasts, then it's not knocking other stuff you do want out of your sub feed or whatever. So that's the thinking of it. I'm not a YouTube genius, so could definitely be incorrect, but that's the logic of it. Lunar Van Harden, welcome to the Veg Ball. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super fan, thank you. That was some good gruff tripleting. It does make a lot of power. So opponent's playing treasures, I guess. I don't even know. Treasures. I guess Jund treasures, I would call it. Let's bring in farewells. Farewells can get rid of treasures. What do we cut, though? Always hard to find things to cut. Like, maybe one acolyte. Maybe one ambitious farmhand. I guess we can go, like, one werefox and, like, maybe go 3 gruffs. Try it like that. The Fiddler! Welcome to the Veg Bowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription. Thank you. Are you technically speaking YouTube genius? I wouldn't say that. I do make YouTube videos sometimes. That's a thing. Sometimes people even watch them. So just like building a commander deck, right? If you can't find room for that spicy card that you really want to add, just cut a land. It always works out. Oh, chat, I have commander questions for you. Most of you play commander, right? I assume most of you play commander. Actually, maybe that's a good first question. How many of you actually play commander? Well, let's pass. We can leave up the werefox. We can leave up disdainful stroke, which we'd rather werefox something like Agnes here. Oh, there's a gruff. I wish we had a fetch land. So, how did you know? No, I do. Me, never, every week. 7 decks or more to come. Ooh, I don't have a play group. Here's my question. So there's been some discourse, I guess you would say, going on in social media about Collector Roof. If you don't know Collector Roof's just 2 mana 2/2 Stony Silence. Your artifacts can't be activated. My question is regarding hate cards and stacks pieces in your commander play group. Is a card like Collector Roof over the line? Or a card like maybe Dranith Magistrate? I want to know how it actually plays out in practice. Because I hear all this rumbling, like people talk on social media, people on Reddit, all that kind of stuff. I want to know what it's like in your actual play groups when you're playing. Like, is your play group like, we don't play these cards because we find them not fun, like, or whatever, it doesn't fit how we want our game to be? Is it like fine and people do play them? I'm very curious what it's like in the real world. Because one thing I've definitely learned doing Magic content is social media is not the real world, and there's lots of things that are said on social media, and the real world is not always reflective of those things. So I'm very curious. Oof is fair and played in my group. People grumble about Magistrate. Magistrate is annoying. I definitely feel like I would rather have hate cards be symmetrical. I really strongly dislike asymmetrical hate cards, not just for commander, but just like in general. I hate them. I feel like if you're going to get the power of a Stony Silence or a Rest in Peace, it should affect you too. And Collector Roof is a symmetrical hate card. So I'm pretty okay with cards like that. I could see a play group being like, no, I don't want to play that because it just like locks us down and it makes the game go too long and it's not fun. I think that's like perfectly legitimate. Feels like it's fine, but I get 1 game a week. Bro, better not be your entire deck. And I think that's something that I forget as someone who does content. Like, if you're someone who's like, I get 2 hours a week to go play a commander game, I don't want my 2 hours a week to be locked under a Collector Roof and a Rest in Peace, because I actually want to like do some things. And my 2 hours a week I get away from, work and school and kids and all this other stuff to play Magic. That also makes a lot of sense. And I forget that I think sometimes as someone who makes content, because it's just like, I'm playing so many games of Magic. There's always another game around the corner, that it's a little bit different, I think, in that scenario when you're playing so many games, because whatever, if I get stacks out of this one, the next game's going to be coming. So what's the big deal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. I really want to play Gruff, but I feel like if I play Gruff, we're going to get absolutely wrecked by Breach. I don't think 8 cards are bad for the format. It makes people learn how to play against. I will also add that pregame talk is important. Ooh, I'm glad you brought that up because I have a pregame talk question too. That is a perfect segue. But first we got to play this turn. But I do have a question about pregame talks. That's another thing I'm curious about how they go in practice. Because most of my Commander games come with Commander Clash, which is like content-y. So pregame talks are a little bit different because the goal is to like make entertaining content more so than, I mean, we also want to have a balanced game. I think balanced games lead to good content, but it's not like we sit down and are like, oh, I'm playing a 7 this week. It's also a little different because I think we've just played together for so long that we kind of know if you play with the same people for a long time, you kind of know what the power level of their decks are, how they tend to build things. Pregame talk is important. My friends don't play Animar if he knows I'm playing black-white. That makes sense. Well, all right, let's do a little werefoxing. I wish we had a Panharmonicon in play. All of this is fine, but we're a little light on Panharmonicons. Are you killing our werefox? Tamiyo's safekeeping. All right. Well, we will do some ambitious farming, get a plains. Play the plains. Play the fox to get rid of the Glissa. Smack you. I mean, this is working. We are getting there. There's not a Panharmonicon on the battlefield. Do we have enough mana? 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I want to get the Crater Hoof with Invasion, but oh god. Well, okay. There goes a lot of our board. Well, play the land. Grab a land, hopefully. Grab a land. Play the triplets. Here they come. Here comes the triplets. Hit you down to 4. And I think that's Gabe. I think that might be Gabe. About to play the land. Breach the multiverse? Halana and Elena. What is our opponent's deck trying to do? I am so confused. I guess our opponent's just playing junk cards they like. You have a house ban list, so that helps. That is also true. That's one of the upsides of having a play group is you can make your own ban lists. I'm always really upfront with my decks, tend to be really high powered, but it's and if it's not fun, we collaborate towards something different. I think it's unfun if you don't disclose a general strategy power level. So here was it was just like Jund cards that I owed. Here's a question I had. Someone posted this on Reddit as a way to do pregame discussions. What do you think of this? So the idea is you can make a little token for each of your decks that has a whole bunch of information, like jank to like high powered, how focused is it, what's the archetype, what's the strategy, what turn could I win, how much interaction, do I have combos, do I have a lot of tutors, what's my salt score? I didn't even know salt score was like a thing. What do you think, would you, yeah, I know. If I was playing, I'd be like, gosh, unless your deck is like it's gotta be like a 50 on the salt score, else find another table, please. Only winter orbs allowed here. I think that's always the challenge, right? Like, how do you manage to rank your own decks in a way that's meaningful to other people? Kind of like when conversations are about like, how fun is a card? What is fun? And what I find fun, like blood mooning you, you might not find fun, like getting blood mooned by me. So there's a lot of subjectivity when it comes to topics like that. I think that is also very true of ranking deck power in Commander. Would you use something like this? Like, what do you think of the level of information? I feel like this is more information than my typical pregame talk has been with people at like a Command Fest. I don't know if it's different for me because people know me and they just want to play with me, so they're just like talking about other stuff and want to get into the game. So maybe my talk is like, when I talk about stuff like this with people, maybe it's a little different. It seems like normally when I have a Rule Zero conversation talk with people, it's kind of like, oh, like what kind of deck are you playing? You know, is it high powered or like, you know, precon powered? This seems very in depth. I think that's like, this would give you a very good overview of a deck, I think, assuming it's ranked correctly, which might be difficult. But Rapunzna, welcome to the Fishbowl. Salt score 23.3. I like how precise that is, too. Right down to the decimal. Right down to the decimal. My 23.37 beats your 23.36. You need to be pretty experienced to accurately represent your deck with this much data. Yeah, that is the challenge, right? It's just not easy to do. People's decks change too often for evaluations like that to be worth printing and keeping around. I guess that's another good point. If you're updating your deck, so welcome to the fishbowl, or as puns not. If you're updating your deck every set, it might be a hassle just to like keep track of all that. Seth, I think you need to remember that many people you play with at cons develop their play habit from Commander Clash. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. At the same time, it feels weird to me to do like a fake rule 0 conversation to like, I don't know, a fake rule 0 conversation to like make an example of what a rule 0 conversation could be like if it's not a real one. I don't know. I guess I've never really thought that through, but it's my initial reaction would be it would be awkward to fake it, but maybe it wouldn't be. Yeah, let's just Broker's Hideout. Broker's Hideout. Grab a forest. Yeah. Do we want to get back the land? Maybe. We don't just rank our decks among friends I play with. Yeah, that's like kind of, I think that's what happens on Commander Clash, is it's like, we just play together so much that having the like full rule 0 conversation is just a little bit unnecessary, just because when you've been playing with the same group of people for so long, like if you have a play group you've been playing with for 5 years or 10 years, you're probably not having the same sort of conversation you would have with random people at that you've never played with before, just because you know what decks the people have and know like what power level they build at and whatnot. Let's grab a forest. Go. How are you? What's been going on, Autism Gaming? Is there even more? Opponent. All about these biting palm ninjas. Enters the battlefield with menace counter. When it deals combat damage, remove the menace counter. I really don't want to get hit by that. This Werefox Bodyguard does not guarantee that we don't get hit by that, though. Huh. If we play this, we definitely get hit by it. Maybe we just accept that that's going to happen. I guess that's a possibility. Deals combat damage, remove it if you do. Choose a non-land card, exile it. Oh, that Biting Palm. Why did Biting Palm Ninja never make it? Yeah, all right. Yeah, why did Biting Palm Ninja never actually make it? This feels like it should be a good card. Menace, Thoughtseize it exiles, you can ninjutsu. It's actually got a lot going for it. Well, Werefox Bodyguard. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, Thoughtseize prevented for now. About it. Wait, are we not in ranked? Are we playing Arena? Is this unranked? No wonder we're seeing all this Fighting Palm Ninjas and stuff. No wonder. Oh, that was not intentional. Well, okay, let's get back our. Well, I guess we'll finish this game and then we'll switch. Let's play a Woodland Acolyte, draw a card. Play a Thicket. Hit you for 2. Pass the turn. I was wondering why there was such a diversity. We hadn't been shielded once. I was like, wow, standard improving. So few shieldreds. What's your thought on the arena system, all Chemister Forge? I need alcohol, a burrito, and a week off work. It's a evergreen comment. Mega Magic card. How are things? Yeah, ninja is kind of disappointing because ninjas are like one of my favorite creature types. They're just such a cool creature type. Ninjutsu is such a neat mechanic. I'm a little disappointed they flop so hard. Really missing my friend Nan Dad, just feeling down, and played Magic yesterday with my deck, Mono Red Landfall, and my Dime Voltron Mill deck got targeted for no reason. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry at a frustrating game and dealing with some stuff autism. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I think that's the nature of Commander to some extent, I guess, that... Wait, they're gonna reanimate our Werefox Bodyguard. So I think what we do is we play this. We play Eternal Wander. Eternal Wander.
And we all leave with our lives.
Get rid of this Archfiend for now. Pass the turn. Opponent's gonna reanimate our Werefox to get our Acolyte. In theory, though, then we blink the Werefox, get back our Acolyte, get rid of the Biting Palm Ninja or the Angel, something like that. That's the hope anyway. We'll see if it works. Do you think Ninjas X Fairies could be viable? Maybe. Fairies adding more one-drop flyers is good. Although Ninjas already had some good one-drop flyers, like a 1,000-Year Shadow? Whatever the 1,000-Year one is. That card can do some cool tricks. Forward! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Oh, no. Big super chat for you. Thank you. Aggressive Sabotage. Well, that's almost a Blightning. About it. Hits Eternal Wander. Alright, the Angel returns. So we will blink the Fox.
You're coming with me.
Draw a card. That's a triplet. That is a trip. You know what? We're going to play triplet. Your Angel can live because we have the triplets. And we get back the Werefox to get rid of the Angel. Your go about it. I really like your tweets about the revenue reporting. The revenue reporting for MTG when I was working in the field, it was kind of incredible how small details could change the way the data looked. We use sourcing tools from a variety of sources in countries for that reason. Ooh, so Lucid, do you have... Oh, farewell, eh? Do you have any inside knowledge on Arena's finances? I'm actually pretty curious. So there was a tweet by someone who was big into Marvel Snap, saying Marvel Snap made $100 million since October. Arena only made like 19 million or something. It turns out once it was dug into a bit more, that it was only using numbers from the App Store, which obviously most of Arena is not through the App Store, but I think all or most of Snap is through the App Store. So it really like heavily favored Snap. And I was thinking, how is it possible Arena made that little money? I'm curious how much Arena actually makes. How much of the 1.1 billion that Magic made last year is attributable to Arena? Yeah, Farewell's a blowout. I really wish. So one thing I dislike about it is I wish that we didn't get so many Exile Wraths. I feel like this is one of those weird scenarios where the Wraths that Wizards wants to print to excite. The Wraths that Wizards wants to print to excite Commander players are probably a little annoying for Standard. I don't know how Wizards does their job. I don't know how it's possible. I don't know how you... It's kind of like... You know what it feels like? This struck me just right today. You know, one of the issues with Arena is... So they printed Alchemy, and most people are okay with Alchemy, but dislike the Alchemy in the rebalance and everything ended up hitting historic. I feel like we see a little bit of that going on with Magic design. Like, how in the world do you take and build Magic cards that are exciting for a format like Commander, a 4-player format with Soul Ring, one of the most broken cards in the history of the game, being the most played card in the format? How do you make Magic cards that are desirable and exciting for that format, but also healthy and fun for a format like Standard that has a couple years worth of cards? How do you do it? Is it even possible? I don't know. Oh my god. I don't know that it actually is. Burning Bush, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat for you. Thank you. But yeah, I don't even know if it actually is possible. Wow, opponent ticks up their Kaya. And I don't know if I've ever beat a Kaya. I don't think it's ever happened. Opponent passes. Ambitious farmhand. Well, go to combat. Everything attacks Kaya. Opponent blocks. Grow the Gruffs. Play a farmhand. Like, do you even think that's is it even possible to do that? Scaling affects each opponent. With the proper scaling is an excellent strategy. Yeah, I mean, I think the Wraths that they've, I think, done most successfully are like Vanquish the Horde and Blasphemous Act. I don't know how many times you can do that, though. How many times can you just be like, oh, I cost less equal to the number of creatures there are. I cost less equal to the number of... Okay, Invoke Justice. Does some tutoring. I think we might be dead. This is the grindiest, even in unranked. I think we're going to switch to rank after this game, win or lose. They need to go back to designing cards for limited and let players figure out they're constructed on their own. Getting valid in every format winds up ruining them. Opponent. Invoke Justice. How are you casting? How are you casting anything in this deck of our opponents? I am so confused. So confused. Sheoldred's Edict. Okay. Well, we got a big Gruff. Opponent. We've gotten almost every land out of our deck. Have I tried Calyx 3 Blind Mice? I have not. Well, ossification. Get rid of the angel. Kill the Kaya, but then our opponent can reanimate the Kaya. Why is our opponent not taking the Gruff triplets? I am incredibly confused. Isn't that just like super easy, obvious what you want to take? Like every single time? Oh, Calyx 3 Blind Mice. Silly farmer. We have not done... Somehow we have drawn... We're 2 cards short of half of our deck. We have not drawn a single Panharmonicon. None of the 6. That is pretty against the odds. About it. Kicks a sleeper. We do some sacking. Found it. Kicks a Benelish sleeper. About it. Oh god. Well, okay, Spirited Companion. That is better than Ambitious Farmhand. That's gonna get cycled for sure. Oh god. Ambitious Farmer. Pass the turn. Where's our action? Opponent goes to combat. Gets in. Wow, they really want to draw a card. Alright, well, block and block. Well, okay, cycle. The problem is now if we start drawing Panharmonicons, they're not actually very good. Woodland Acolyte's pretty good. One, two, three. 1, 2. So I think we... All right, Mend the Wilds. Get back Eternal Wanderer. Play the Woodland Acolyte. Draw the Eternal Wanderer. Play the Eternal Wanderer. Blink the Woodland Acolyte.
You're coming with me.
Pass the turn. Oh! Oh! Invasion of Ikoria. If we don't get hit by discard, this invasion's huge. About it. Passes. Does this win us the game? I guess it doesn't directly win us the game. What do you think of the new rotation schedule? So we could get... We get the Crater Hoof, but we only have one creature. That doesn't seem great. Maybe we just play it... I think we play it slow and try to build up our board. Let's blank the Woodland Acolyte.
I'll handle this one.
Pass the turn. Draw a card. It's a land. I mean, so new rotation, I'm on the record as thinking it is a mistake. I believe that it's exactly the opposite of what I would do with Standard. Like, quite literally the exact opposite.
Steal.
At the same time, I wanna give it a fair shake, because I know that I am not necessarily right. I am wrong about things sometimes, so maybe it's me that's wrong and not the kids. Have you seen much Lorcana? I actually bought a booster pack. So I had to go to Walmart, and they had this one Lorcana gift box there, and I figured all I hear is people talking about how valuable. All right, we're gonna get to ranked now. Well, we've seen that Panharmonicons can work in unranked. They had one of these boxes. And I bought it and opened it. I don't know anything about it. Probably was not a good investment. Well, no, it wasn't a booster box. It was like some collector box with like 4 packs in it. So, how is Lorcana? I've heard good things. I've seen people that really like it. I mean, that's kind of the issue with the new schedule, I think, Malign going. Like, the part that blows my mind about it is slower rotation with more aggressive bannings makes sense. But Wizards, like, at the same time announced slower rotation and less aggressive bannings, which is, like, I don't understand what Wizards is trying to do. My overall feeling is confusion. So we got the, like, we're canceling rotation article, and it was, we're canceling rotation, but don't worry, this is the first step. We're announcing a bunch more stuff. Like, we're going to make Standard awesome again, was kind of the TLDR. But we haven't heard any of the other stuff. So all we've seen so far is, like, cancel rotation, slow down bannings, and it's been like 4 months or something, no other announcements. And then someone said that they said they were going to announce more stuff maybe the beginning of the year sometime. So they might not even announce anything else for like another 4 or 5 months. So my overall feeling is just confused. I don't know what I do not really know what they're trying to do. I don't understand. I'm just confused. I'm just very confused at what they're trying to do. Because it's so the opposite of what I would do if I was making the decisions. So I'm mostly just like befuddled. Befuddled might be the word. I mean, my current feeling is actually that Wizards, and this is just 1,000,000% my opinion. My feeling right now is that Wizards kind of woke up one morning and was like, hey, what if we canceled rotation? And they're like, yeah, let's do it. And they canceled rotation and didn't really have much of a plan beyond that. So they canceled rotation, and then, like, over the next year or two, they'll figure out what the rest of this is the first step, we're going to announce much more. I don't feel like there was actually a fully thought out plan of all those steps. And they're just, like, waiting for the right moment to announce it. I think the plan was like, we'll cancel rotation, and then we'll figure out We'll figure out the rest of it as we go along. I hope it works. Do you think anything could be banned from Eldraine? In Standard, I think it's unlikely. At least at this point. So out of the Eldraine cards, and who knows, after people get playing with cards, stuff becomes more powerful. People figure stuff out. But there's nothing that jumps out to me for Standard in specific that's like, this is just too good. I think the card that is closest to being too good is probably going to be Beseech the Mirror. I think Beseech the Mirror, I think the odds of it being banned in non-standard formats is actually surprisingly high. Like, I think Legacy Vintage, I would say, I think it's more likely than not that it gets banned eventually. Modern, I think it's possible it gets banned. And I guess it would probably be if I had to pick something that was most likely to get banned in Standard, it's probably Beseech. Although, I don't think the odds are, like, in favor of it being banned in Standard or anything. Huh. So this could mean Shieldred coming. What happens if Shieldred comes? How bad is that for us? I mean, play the land. Ooh, what about double ossification? Double ossification actually seems pretty good here. This does leave us a little soft to a Shieldred, but let's ossification. Resolves, triggers. And then Virtue of Knowledge, copy the trigger. I mean, getting rid of 2 Tenacious Underdogs forever seems like good value. And that is the power of Virtue of Knowledge. Out of here, out of here. Please don't Shieldred. No, not Shieldred. Hey, Fairy Mastermind, that is not Shieldred. Okay, we can deal with that. We can deal with that. Virtue of Knowledge. Play the land. And next turn might be a pretty good turn. We might have a pretty good turn. Roberto Mode! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Did you play Cauldron with Eurist yet? All creatures with counters or planeswalkers. Yes. We haven't actually played. Hey, what's up, Roberto Mode? Thank you for the sub, and I love you as well. Haven't actually played it yet. We haven't done any of the new modern cards yet, but I think Agatha's Soul Cauldron might be number two on my list of most likely to get banned. I don't think it's likely to get banned in Standard. Although I think the card's really powerful. Beyond that, chat, like, what else could even be on the list? Obviously, there could be, like, what if someone breaks Blossoming Sky Turtle combo or something wonky like that? Like, that's really hard to predict. There's not much, though, that really... Is there anything that I'm missing that could actually be, like, too good? I think the other stuff that scares me is just black cards. Not because I think the cards are too good, but because the colors just been so good. Like, Meat Hook Massacre, I don't think is a bannable card in like 95% of formats. But it ended up Raging Battle Mouse, yes. Regal Bunny card. Well, play the land, do a little topiary stomping. Get a couple more lands. Cauldron is, like, kind of ridiculous. Yeah, black cards scare me just because black's so powerful. Like, Meat Hook Massacre, I don't think is a bannable card in general. But it ended up getting banned last year because black has just been so good. There's so many ridiculously good black cards. I think that's kind of the same issue with Shieldred. Like, the conversation around banning Shieldred, I don't think it's, like, Shieldred's a very good card, but I think it's as much a product of the power of black in Standard as it is the power of Shieldred itself in Standard, if that makes sense. Wow. Stompertron. We are going to have all the lands. And this is going pretty well at the moment. Opponent. Can you beat triple Stomper? Next turn we get to double Spirited Companion too at a minimum, and we've gotten a lot of lands out of our deck. Opponent. Do you think value-wise Wilds of Eldraine is good? It's become almost... I used to do expected value articles pretty much every set. actually every set. But it used to be there was one type of booster box, and it was very clear, like, what everything came in. I haven't been doing them recently because it has just gotten so murky. Well, is our opponent going to salty rope our topiary stomper, Panharmonicon? Panharmonicon with its first salty roping? It's just gotten so murky. There's so many different types of boosters. There's so many slots that when we tried to do it right, it takes like several days of like multiple people working on it to actually do it right. I would say that Wilds of Eldraine, just looking at this, I think the EV is pretty medium. Like, here's the problem with Wilds of Eldraine. The problem with Wilds of Eldraine is, from the perspective of someone opening a box, there is almost zero value in the rare slot. Like, Beseech is super worth it. Agatha's Soul Cauldron, Moonseeker Cavalry is good. But if you look down here, like, the most valuable rare in the set, Decadent Dragon, is $2.99. And it's probably still dropping, and that's a TCG mid, so you probably can't even get that for it. So you open the literal best rare in the set, and it's not going to pay for the pack that you open it out of. So I think that's the problem. So I think that the value is actually probably very bad. If you actually did take the time to calculate it correctly, I think you'd find that the value is pretty bad, just because there's no value in the rare slot. That's a problem without having a high value land cycle in a set. Without a high value land cycle, it's really hard for the cards to be worth value. The extra, I guess that's true. I guess we're not looking at the extra sheet. See, even the extra sheet becomes a little bit convoluted. So the question is, how does rarity work with the extra sheet? The extra sheet definitely has some higher value cards, which is really good. That's actually by far the best part of the set. Doubling Seasons, Bitter Blossoms. There's a lot of like $20, $30, $40 cards. The part I'm not clear on is how likely you are to get the high rarity ones, like the mythic ones. Are they like once a box you get one, every case you get one? So that's where it becomes really complicated, because I don't think that's explicitly clear in the way it is with normal sets. But yeah, the special slot, that definitely helps with the value for sure. Outside of Shocklands, what is even a high value? Ooh, all right, well, we're going to draw some cards. Spirited Companion. Panharmonicon, draw 2. Opponent also gets to draw a bunch of cards, but whatever. Opponent's going to cut. Oh, this is hilarious. Oh, you killed it? Oh, opponent. No, not our Spirited Companion. No, chill. Let's see. In response, mend the wilds. Let's put a little Spirited Companion back on top of our deck. Drawing a Spirited Companion off its own trigger. Woodland Acolyte's such a cool card. It's just such a sweet little value-y card. I love this card. One of my favorite cards from the set. It's just like, it's just a me kind of card. It's not like busted or anything. It's just like so value-y and like draws cards and does cool little things. Gives back my Panharmonicons once they die. So opponent gets to draw a card. We get back our Spirited Companion. We play our Spirited Companion. We draw some more. We're actually still losing at this point. We're so far ahead on every conceivable metric, and technically our opponent's at 20 and we're at 14. The power of the Woodland Acolyte. I mean, has anyone been opening boxes? Well, let's Woodland Acolyte. Draw a couple cards. I'm planning on opening a couple. The rare value is scaring me now, though. That's the part that scares me. You're really dependent on Enchanted Tales and hitting the mythics. If you hit Beseech, you're good. I know, it's also a very Richard-y card, except Richard, the green is actually kind of awkward in Commander because of color identity. I think Richard would like this card more if it was mono white. I think the fact that it's 2 color actually makes it worse for Richard. Opponent. Oh, opponent, no. Haven't you learned? We can We can mend the Wild Seas back to the top of our deck literally all day. You were just giving us more draw 2 creatures. Oh, about it. Thought on the MTG Arena system. Oppressively strong decks make games repetitive. I partly attribute this, the amount of shoulder gets played, to the win-focused reward system on Arena, aggregating that pushes people to build the best deck. Wouldn't there be a possibility of having both players rank each other's decks after each game with likes of fun or not, with likes or fun or not, or deck was new to me or not to me, and have a player reward system linked to such a system? So that's an interesting idea, Alchemist Forge. I think the challenge is traditionally 60 card formats are pretty competitive. Whoa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can play. Oh boy. I think it might be time for a hoofin. It might be time for a little hoofin. Is it time for a hoofin? Moonshaker Cavalry, double trigger. Our things are big and you are dead. Hoof, there it is. Oh, I like the idea. The problem is I think the incentive system will always be there because 1v1 Magic is often competitively based. So even on Arena, people are trying to get to like top 1200 so then they can qualify for whatever, so then they can make it to this and then be at Worlds. So I think that incentive is always going to be there. I think maybe you could have an additional queue, some sort of like the unranked queue might be a good place for that, or maybe a third queue where the incentives were different. I think the other problem that gets overlooked when it comes to, and not overlooked, we've talked about it many times, but that didn't come up here with Arena. I don't think it's always that people want to just build the best deck. I think it's also that the economy really pushes people to building the best deck. Because the economy is set up in a way where my Panharmonicon costs the same as a Sheoldred, it's really tough to spend your wild cards on a fun niche card like Virtue of Knowledge that might be like really fun and like kind of competitive in the right deck, when you could spend the same amount of resources and get a cross format, play it in every standard deck, play it in every historic deck, play it in every alchemy deck, play it in every, like, just this all-star card that you can play in every format. So the economy is also kind of set up to funnel people into building the best deck and playing the best deck, because it's really, really hard to afford the other cards. That's one thing that I actually love about the paper economy, and I love about Wilds of Eldraine, is like the rares in this set are so cheap. We need to sideboard here a little bit though. We can't trust on our opponent just never drawing anything. It worked that game, but that's not all. Oh no, we were running out of time here severely. Sideboard, and sideboard. Close enough. 3, 2, 1. That's one of the things I love about how paper Magic has went, is like so many cards are so cheap now, but like on Arena they're all the same price. So it's really tough to get the Balluna for $5 or $10, whatever it ends up being for Mythic, when you could get the Beseech the Mirror for that same cost. When in paper, there's like an incentive to get a Balluna because you could buy 60 Ballunas for the price of one Beseech the Mirror. So there's like the fact that there's an actual market economy in some ways is better. It works the other way too. The upside is your Beseech the Mirror is only $10, but if you look at the prices of cards, it ends up being more in a lot of ways, because there's only a handful of cards that are actually that expensive. If you look at like all the cards in Standard, most of them, if you look at like all the cards in Standard, there's very few Mythics that are worth like over $10. So most of the time, you end up paying like more for the bad cards than you do getting a discount on the good cards. So it's a weird system compared to paper Magic for sure. That's why Brawl is my favorite Arena constructed format. It's nice to see more of the card pool. Yeah, Brawl has really grown on me too. Do you think they could do the same as Moto? I mean, so there's a big upside to Arena, which is because there's no real economy and because all the cards cost the same, it makes it much easier to do a free-to-play mode. Part of the problem with Magic Online, or the upside, depending on your perspective, is because there's a real economy and cards are actually worth real money, and you can trade your cards for tickets, which you can turn into dollars or whatever. Because of that, it's very hard, or actually maybe impossible, to have a real free-to-play mode where if you just play, we will give you all the cards. So the upside of Arena not having a real economy is there actually is a free-to-play mode, and I think that needs to exist. Like, I think there needs to be at least a Magic client that has a free-to-play option, because that's one of the biggest hurdles of getting people into Magic Online is not everyone wants to spend money on a game. There's so many free options out there. If you're competing with Hearthstones, Battlegrounds, and all these other games that you can play for free, I think Magic kind of needs that option to keep up. Yeah, Brawl is amazing because you only need one copy of each card. And it's casual, or at least unranked, so you don't have the same pressure of needing, like, the staples. And it's a 100-card singleton deck. If your 100-card singleton deck doesn't have Shieldred, it's not that noticeable because you're not going to draw it in most games anyway. If your standard deck that usually plays 4 Shieldreds has your Shieldreds, that's very noticeable because you're going to see Shieldred almost every game if you're playing standard, and you're going to see it... And you're going to see it 0% of the time if you're not playing it. So I think that Brawl is actually one of the best budget ways to play Arena, and it's also super fun. It's a format that's really, really grown on me. I actually kind of hate Standard Brawl. Standard Brawl, I think, is like... I've not come around on Standard Brawl. I still really dislike Standard Brawl. But Historic Brawl is actually one of my favorite formats just to, like, play for fun on Arena. Yeah, there's so much more they could do with Arena. I think there really needs to be... I think looking at what other digital card games do is probably the easiest way to see what Arena can do. I think better single-player story modes could be really good. I know we, like, have the tutorial type stuff, but that's just for new players. I think you could do more advanced versions of that is not just, like... only for new players. Well, we're gonna do a little stomping. Our opponent does not believe in getting past 3 lands apparently. Grab a Plains, Broker's Hideout, and next turn we might be able to get Gruff. And I think Gruff probably beats a Graveyard Trespasser. We'll see. Opponent land. Opponent Shieldred. And gets in. Well, now we gotta decide. Do we Gruff Triplets or do we answer Shieldred? Ooh, and Ossification. Oh, Triplets is so much value. Yeah, we gotta... I think our opponent gets to keep their Shieldred for a turn. For 1 turn, Gruff Triplets. Triple it up. Pass the turn. Opponent gains some life. Is Gruff Triplets better than Shieldred? Is it better than Shieldred? Yeah, better story modes could be good. There is. There's a new one. There's a new Panharmonicon. They printed a Panharmonicon in Wilds of Eldraine in Virtue of Knowledge. 5 mana, kind of upgraded Panharmonicon, just any permanent ETBing doubles. And you get an adventure mode where you can copy, activate, or triggered abilities. So yeah, we got that and Elish Norn. How is midweek Magic? Oh, come on, kill a Gruff. Kill a Gruff. Kill a Gruff. Kill a Gruff. It'll be fine. Aw. All right, opponent kills a Stomper. Sure. I will never feel bad about beating a... Oh, opponent. No, opponent. Oh, this is not what you want to be doing, opponent. This is very bad. Why didn't... Was that unblockable or something? Oh, okay. Well, maybe it's not as bad a news because apparently we're going to not block it anyway. Well, now we need to not die. That actually makes things much more difficult here. Opponent has one card in hand. All right, let's... Ossification. Ossification. Discard Virtue of Knowledge. Hit ya with the Gruff. Leave up our counter. Also, Gruff triplets make disappear, kind of a combo. Sack the Gruff to grow the other ones. Do you think Ashiok will be played in Standard? I really want to build an Ashiok deck. I really do. Do I think it'll be... So I think the Ashiok can see play as just a value planeswalker. Like, I think as a 5-mana planeswalker, it's good enough. So I think it will see... some play in Standard. I will say I want to build around it and try to go all in on its ability. Yeah, I think this is better, because what we get to do here is make disappear Casualty, sack a Gruff triplets, copy the Graveyard Trespasser, grow the Gruff triplets, Woodland Acolyte, get back the Gruff triplets, replay the Gruff triplets. Opponent. Gonna learn about make disappear, and this might be the concession here. Gruff triplets back on the top, untap. How about a Gruff triplets? Is Gruff triplets actually good? Opponent down to 10. That's a lot of triplets. That's a lot of triplets. Opponent. Tenacious. Oh no, opponent. This is not gonna do what you want. We're just gonna block it and grow our Gruff triplets. They just keep growing. Yes, opponent. Would you like to kill one? Come on, show us that remove. Aww. Our Eternal Wanderer. Go attacking. And Gruff, yeah. I do kind of love this deck. Yeah, Ashiok Staff of Completion. There's also like a ridiculously horrible combo with the Demon, the Exile stuff from the graveyard. But yeah, I think the Ashiok can see play. I think it's good enough to see play. A reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. The deck's actually like sort of working, isn't it? If you need some magic cards, you can get them at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. So if you've been playing Standard, chat, I feel like normally when we get the fall set, it's like the literal most hype time in the entire year for Standard. I feel like it hasn't been the same this time. Like, I feel like it just hasn't had the same level of excitement as usual. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's like everyone just plays Commander now, so no one cares. I don't know if it's people don't like the meta, people don't like no rotation. But I've definitely felt like it just hasn't had the hype. Maybe it's just a lack of rotation. Maybe that's why the hype is like everyone's excited about the new thing. Yeah, so maybe that's the big issue, is just the lack of rotation. Opponent gonna get evolved. Gotta get my limited in. How is limited been? Should I play some Wilds of Eldraine limited? Grow in the dork. Well, let's do we need to answer this? I don't even really want to answer it. I want to copy this fetch land, but yeah, all right. We'll be responsible gamers. Play the basic. I guess we don't really want the Valve Sleeper to start drawing cards. That would be not great for us. Hit ya down to 17. Limit is fun. Several good color combos. How are the Enchanted Tales? Do they make the format more enjoyable? All right, well, that's a Shieldred. We will ossify it. Spar's headquarters, getting hit ya. I mean, we're fighting the fight. Hopefully they don't have another Shieldred or things are going to become tricky. opponent. Chill with the Shieldreds. Alright, Liliana. We can deal with Liliana, I think. Hopefully. Wow, just ticks down. Alright, well, in that case, Broker's Hideout. Virtue of Knowledge. Copy it. Do a little rampant. You know what we really need? We really need a Gruff. I think Gruff would be our best draw here. Grab a Forest. Grab a Island. Ambitious Farmhand. Grab a Plains. All right, come on, Gruff. Gruff for the win. Gruff for the win would be so good. Gotten 2 Ashiaks over my... Oh, Ashiok seems like unbeatable in Limited. What's the best Limited archetype? What's the best deck that you've had? Red-White Celebration Limited was good. 3-0 in the first draft token I had. Ooh, nice. Are rats good? Can rats actually be good? Does Graph Triplex make the list for the mono green deck you made before? I think so. I think it's good enough to... Alright, well, let's play the Panharmonicon. I think it's good enough to show up in the mono green deck. Opponent. We really need a value play here. Just ETB draw a card, please. Forest. Ha. Ha ha ha. Well, let's cycle. I mean, we can't really let this Liliana ultimate. That would be bad. Another Werefox. Alright, well, pass the turn, I guess? Opponent taps. Alright, Mosso Dread Knight draws a card. I mean, we were cycling... Oh, I think they were trying to play it as a creature. I think that was their plan. We were cycling because if we hit any of our card draw things, we had to play it and just, like, go off, but... It was not meant to be. Well, discard a Forest. Opponent discards go for the throat. We'll run out of Werefox. Oh, even more lands. Well, attack Liliana.
Do not touch me again.
Pass the turn. Come on. Gruff or card draw. Either one. That's what we need here. The Werefox is not looking great at the moment. Alright, Mosswood Dread Knight, sure. And... Oh, okay, well, we're gonna sack that. Fizzle the Virtue. Opponent ticks up. Well, Werefox Bodyguard. Get rid of the Dread Knight. Come on, card draw. Spirited. I've never wanted a Spirited Companion more in my entire life, I don't think. Or Gruff. Or Gruff. That would also be fine. Oh, Elishnorn. Well, okay. I mean, if we ever draw something with the ETB trigger, our life is going to be great. 2 Panharmonicon stacked up on the battlefield at the moment. Oh, come on. We're so close to going off. Just finished building the food deck. Almost lost a best of 3 thanks to arena troubleshooting. Ooh. Alright, that's actually annoying. Go Lisa. Come on, deck. Oh. Oh no, those lands we discarded. Oh, those lands we discarded. We don't have enough mana for the hoof. It would have been so lethal too. Found it. Land. 5 mana. Nissa.
All will be joined in symbiosis.
Gonna get back Shieldred. Oh! And then ticks up. Oh no. We got no luck at all. Oh, we got no luck. No luck at all. Opponent passes. Come on. Come on. Okay, Ossification's actually very good. Wow, that's actually insanely good. Ossification. That's like the dream draw. Glissa, Sheoldred, and Sheoldred out of here. And yeah, we got to snipe both Planeswalkers, I think. Kill both Planeswalkers. That was a good ossification. That was a good ossification. And opponent's board is empty. We still got Mom. We still got Werefox Bodyguard. Oh, please tell me you can't blow the... Oh, opponent scoops it up. Wait, what are we getting punted for? What do we get punted for? Hey, Seth, recently made your budget rolls deck with Area and Spiteful Hexmage. I got 7-1 and Best of 1, and now Area is one of my favorites from the set. I thought she was not very good during spoiler season. Being able to drain for 4 or 5 for 3 mana, surprisingly good. Hey, I'm glad it's working for you, Zeno. Yeah, the roll mechanic's really cool. It's really cool. Why Sheoldred twice? So I think I should have explained it. So the problem with ossification is if our opponent kills it, it can come back. So I think it's actually better to only exile the 2 creatures and then kill the 2 planeswalkers with damage. So that way, if our opponent draws a way to kill the ossification, they're not also getting back the Nissa at full loyalty or the Liliana at full loyalty. So I think it was better just to clear the blockers and then kill the planeswalkers. So that was my thinking, rather than exile a planeswalker too, because then we're just set up for like the most ridiculous blowout if our opponent finds a way to kill the ossification. You're gonna do another video of Against Odds Phonics. I love those. I'm sure I will. The challenge is finding the clips. That is the hardest part of those videos by far. There's just so many hours of me talking that it's really hard to find the good ones. But yes, I'm sure there will be. I'm also working on a video that I think it's going to be going up in maybe a week or two. Might be 2 weeks. But a video that's just like totally different than anything I've done before that I'm really excited for. I think it's going to be really good and people are going to really like it. We'll see. I'm really curious to see what the reaction is. It's always scary to try new things because you just never know. You never know what the reaction's going to be. You never know if people are actually going to like them. So there's always a little bit of worry, but I think people are really going to like it. So I'm excited for that. Just trying something a little bit different. Hey Seth, where's your favorite subscriber from the Twitch highlights? What was his name again? Make a magic card. No. That was a one-time thing. I learned. I was young and naive, and I didn't know about Dixies and so forth. I'm not gonna fall for that again. I'm not going to. I've learned. I've grown. I'm wiser now, older and wiser. No, Sam! I can't blame him for trying. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Thank ya. Do we Spirited Companion? Probably. Yeah, let's do it. Run it out. Draw a card. Disdainful Stroke will be good eventually. Ponorino. I'm super in favor of another Seth Phonics video. You can start with Smellbook Bender. Did I actually say that? Oh, that does sound like something I might accidentally say now that you mention it. That does kind of sound like me. How do we do this? So we can Razorforge Thicket. Yeah, let's just do it that way. Oh, also, if I randomly disappear, we're supposed to get like a bad thunderstorm and hail and stuff, so I can hear it like starting to storm out. So if everything randomly shuts down, assume I'm fine and the power just went off because the storm. Who we have 1,000 bits from Area SW. I'm sorry, Ario, for missing your bits. They mean everything to me. Does any of these roll cards work in Panharmonicon style decks? ETB, create a roll. So not really. Maybe some of them do. The big problem is you can only have one roll on a creature. So things that ETB put a roll on itself are like non-bows with Panharmonicon, because you essentially like legend rule away the rolls. They're... Wow, it's like really storming out. So I don't think there are any that I would play in a Panharmonicon deck, but I could be missing some. Well, I think... Oh, boy. How much do we want to leave up Disdainful Stroke is the question. How much do we value the Disdainful Stroke? So we can, like, play Broker's Hideout, copy it with the Virtue of Knowledge. How do we pass up that value? The other option is just, like, do nothing. I guess we could... Yeah, let's play Broker's Hideout. Get a land. We're not going to copy it. I am kind of interested in answering this Glissa, though. And let's get rid of the Glissa. The Glissa is pretty annoying. Glissa blows up her enchantments, which is super awkward. Ooh. Oh! Is it Panharmonicon power? Is it Panharmonicon power? I think we have to do this. This is hilarious. We can copy the ossification and have it resolve before the Tiver stand trigger. Panharmonicon! I did a video a super long time ago. Wow, it's thundering. I did a video a super long time ago about hypergeometric calculators, but I should probably do another one. I'm telling you, the Vantress Vision mode on this card is what's... Oh, no. Besage? The Vantress Vision mode on this card... Ooh. Oh, that's not good. The Vantress Vision mode on this card is what's really sold me on it. Well, okay. This could be bad, don't it? We're getting beaten down. Oh, and he gets to blow up the Virtue. Oh! Oh. Can you, like, hear the thunder? Yeah, isn't that wild? It's, like, actually, like, hardcore storming at the moment. Well, get it with the time. As long as the power doesn't go out and the house doesn't blow over, we're good. Opponent. Why, you're going to cash in your land? Okay. Well, let's do this. Spirited Companion, draw 2. Shields down once again. Ooh, Stoke of Midnight's actually super good. That can actually kill a Glissa. Opponent, land, and Gix. Okay. Attacks. We will chump. We need our little Woodland Acolyte thing. Besage you. I'll play Besage you. Oh, we're so close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, but we need like one draw. We're like one draw away. Opponent, land, combat. Attacks. We will block here. And Stroke of Midnight the Glissa. Come on, any ETB. Any ETB would be so good here. They're doing good. The animals are inside, but Bear sometimes gets a little freaked out about thunder. CC, I don't think even notices it. Wow. Oh, okay, that's fine. We have Elish Norn. that was greedy, but okay. Oh, another land. All right, well, play a Panharmonicon. Can we please stop drawing nothingness? Get in, hit you. Down to 13. ETB, ETB, ETB. Come on, chat, give me an ETB. Hey, what's up, Naz? How's life been, Naz? I still have a puppy. The puppy's getting bigger. He's like 170 pounds now and 2 years old. But yes, I love Bear. He's my buddy. Any ETB. Can we get an ETB? What I would give for the Woodland Acolyte. I want the Woodland Acolyte more than anything. The Woodland Acolyte to get back the Spirited Companion. Oh, we would draw so many cards. It would be glorious. Opponent duresses. Okay. Takes the Panharmonicon. Plays the Dread Knight. Oh, where Foxbody? Okay, that's does have an ETB that can actually kind of wrath our opponent's board hilariously. So if we attack, they could block with everything. I guess that's fine. Go attacking. I guess I could also block Dread Knight and just keep drawing cards. Dread Knight is pretty good. The opponent blocks. Oh, this is the dream, I think. Werefox Bodyguard. Triple triggers. Okay, double triggers, but we get a land out of our deck. So we'll just take that, and also that. Kill the Gix forever. Whew, that is an ETB. That is an ETB. That counts. That counts. About it. Just a land. Come on. Come on, Spirited Companion. Spirited Companion. Woodland Acolyte. Land. Okay. Well, we get to attack for 6. We're still on a 2-turn clock. I just want to draw the cards. Oh, they could have... Wow, they have a Restless Cottage. All right, got to pay attention to the creature lands. They could have fired that up and killed our Fox. And wow, okay. Yes, if you want to scoop, that's fine. Duresses. Our opponent doesn't seem to realize they have a creature land either. No one notices the creature land challenge. Oh, it's another farmland. Okay. Get in with the Elish Norn. Our opponent might could we have won there? I bet we could have won. I bet we could have attacked with both and our opponent would not have fired up the creature land. I don't know if they know they have the creature land. Wow, they top deck Sheoldred. Oh god. Oh my god. Opponent GG'd us and now they're gonna win. Now the ETBs are not as good. Okay, ambitious farmhand. We've drawn so many lands. Grab a plains. Are we gonna lose to Sheoldred? Grab a plains. Play the land. Pass the turn. Ooh, Sheoldred's brutal. Opponent up to 4. Opponent. Passing. Well, flip this. The question is, does our opponent remember their creature land? Oh! Okay, that makes things much, much better. So if we swing with everything, and our opponent doesn't fire up their creature land, they win. If they do fire up their creature land, we Fox. Okay, that should work. Well, attack with everything. See if our opponent remembers their creature land. And then Fox them. Fox them. Wow, Sheoldred almost stole it, but Elish Norn is proving who the best Praetor is. Our opponent did remember the land. They did remember. Wait, maybe? So chat, did we break it? Gold 2, did we break it? Hey, FTG Goldfish, the addition of adventure creatures to Standard has made the dream of running Arcane Bombardment in Vesuvian Diplomancy list. Here's a probably still bad list I put together. What does the fox say? Well, in this case, GG. Oh, that song. How did that song get so famous? I never understood. I guess it's got like a good danceable beat. Was that song actually like famous, or was it a meme? Like, was it actually just a meme, or did it actually get like real famous? You watched it when you had less than 100 views? So you were in on the ground for how. So Dandy Flaws, how in the world did you find What's a Fox Say when it had less than 100 views? How is that possible? It is a funny song. I don't think I can play it because then we'll get a copyright strike or whatever. Reaction. I don't understand. I've never understood 4-color Duplomancy. Oh, it is sweet. Elusive Otter seems really good with Duplomancy. Can target it and could be a creature to target and dispel the target with. That does look super fun. Back when the internet was fun. Yeah, is the internet getting less fun? Did the fox say something different? Yeah. Did it say something different back then? How are react videos? I don't understand. On YouTube, one of my pet peeves on YouTube is you play like a 10-second clip of a song, boom, copyright claim. How do react videos literally just play an entire song or entire like movie and put their face on it and it's not somehow copyright infringement? I will never understand how react videos are not illegal in some way because of copyright. A PlayStation Shoulder, nearly $300. That is honestly funny. Yeah. Yup. I mean, Shieldred's a little unique in the sense that it's fairies. Well, let's see how this goes. Shieldred's tough because it's good in like every format. It's good in great in Standard, the best creature in Standard, great in Commander, sees playing Modern, sees playing Pioneer. It's just one of those cards that sees playing so many places. I kind of wish we had more green mana. Well, I guess we just do some ambitious farming for the time being. Keep getting those planes. We are so far away from gruff triplets. It's pass the turd. React videos produce 15 videos a day. Don't really care if a handful get copyright struck. There are also fair use arguments that can be made. Though one likelihood in court, many of those reaction channels, I guess that makes sense. Maybe it's one of those things where it's just like it's technically not legal, but no one actually enforces it, so people get away with it because it's just not enforced essentially. But wouldn't like, so if that's fair use, why isn't it fair use if you play a 10-second song clip in a, why is it not fair use if you play a 10-second song clip in a like 15 minute or 45-minute Magic video? That's the part that's confusing to me. Do we have to get rid of Tillion? What do we do here? If we gruff triplets, we're taking so much damage in the air. Yeah, I think we need to Werefox Bodyguard. Get rid of Tillion. Woodland Acolyte. Ooh, Eternal Wonder. Okay, go attacking. Hit you to 15. A fairy untaps. Opponent hits us. Down to 11. Tignuma, Sleepier's Fairy. Passes. I wish we had a land. Can we win the race? 3, 6, 9, 12. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, we're not really winning the race anyway. So we're actually... Oh, this is... this can untap? 1, 2, 3. They got to spend all their mana, but it can untap. What do we do now? All right, let's Spirit a Companion. Draw a card. Land? Yes. Play the land. Go to combat. Attack with everything. Opponent. Untaps. Opponent. Untaps. Blocks. Blocks. Alright, so we get to flip one of these. Kill a Sleep Curse Fairy. Hit you to 7, gain some life. Pass the turn. Ego Drain. Wow, this is a super close game. Lion. Oh, is it Lion? Lion. To lion. How are you supposed to say it? It's not Tillian? Why is to lion not pronounced Tillian? About it. Ego Drain. Fairy Thoughtseize. Trying to decide which bomb to take. I mean, Moonshaker Cavalry kills them if they don't have the counter and we draw land. Our other cards don't immediately kill it. Wow, I've drawn so many Sleep Curse Fairies. Whoa! Scoops it up. Are we undefeated with this deck? Is Panharmonicon real? Real? That would be my dream. My dream is that we end up in a world where Panharmonicons, for once in our lives, are real. Could you imagine a standard where Panharmonicon was the best deck? Oh, that is utopia. That is what will bring people back to standard. Forget rotation changes. Forget, all that stuff. Like, Panharmonicon, tier 1. Did we break it? What are you doing, Cease? Is that thunder bothering you? You doing all right? The Cross! Welcome to the visual. Gruff is really good. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Hey, Cease. Are you hearing all that thunder? Do you hear that thunder? Yeah? Yeah, do you hear it? Uh-huh. Can you meow a little bit? How about a little meow? Meow? What do you think? How should we sideboard, Cease? What should we take out? Oh, there you go, Cease. I'm sorry. I know, I disturbed you. Cease does not like being disturbed. Cease kind of rules the house, honestly. So, fairies. Farewell is good, but it's probably a bit ambitious. Like, what are the odds that we actually really truly get to 6 mana and resolve it? Maybe like something like this. Actually, Gabakon could be interesting. Let's try it like that. I don't know if that's right or not. I know it would. It would be world peace. Wars ended. Global warming resolved. It would be utopia. Literal utopia. Are you going to make a cat dog tribal deck someday for Commander Clash? Oh, I probably should, shouldn't I? What are 3 cards you wish never existed in Magic? So, wow. 3 cards I wish never existed. So I'm probably going to be a little biased towards Modern here, because Modern's my favorite format. There also is probably going to be a little bit of recency bias, but whatever, it's my list. So, number 1, Ragavan. The stupid monkey. My God, what were they thinking? What were they thinking when they printed that text on that one drop? So number one Ragavan. Number two. See, like, so some cards, if a card is too good, but then it immediately ends up getting banned, I'm probably not going to have it on my list. Like, Hogek, for example, yeah, it was really busted for like 4 months or however long it survived, but I ended up getting banned and we never got to think about it again. So in some ways, that's kind of okay. Like, I don't begrudge Wizards printing broken cards. Like, I think we want them to push the power level on occasion, try to push the boundaries, print some cool things, and if things get broken, then things get broken. This is probably very much recency bias, and maybe I regret this in 6 months or a year. Number two, the One Ring. The One Ring, I think, is a card that should not have been printed in the form that it's in. Especially after hearing the playtest stories of how it changed so much after the modern focused playtesters actually saw it. I would put that number 2 on my list currently. Number 3, we're gonna have to go Commander. And actually, no, this is really all formats. It's gotta be not Dockside. I'm tempted to say Dockside. I'm tempted to say the Commander 2020 free spells just because I hate how shoehorned they are to be Commander staples. Like, those, I feel like Commander, I like Commander is like in an organic format where cards naturally develop into staples, if that makes some amount of sense. I think the actual pick, though, how do we do this? We're at 17. We can get back to Werefox. I think we have to. Okay. I think we mend the Wilds, put the Werefox on top, and then play Beseju, play the Acolyte, Fairy Master. Oh, opponent gets to draw a card. All right, opponent gets to draw a card. But I think the actual pick is Thassa's Oracle. Thassa's Oracle made me hate something I love, which is alt-win conditions. Thassa's Oracle, like, Laboratory Maniac, I love Laboratory Maniac. We played so many, like, janky decks trying to win with Laboratory Maniac. Laboratory Maniac was a really cool card in a really good design. And Thassa's Oracle is just so easy, too easy, that it made me dislike the entire archetype. That made me dislike the entire archetype of card. Because it's like, I love alt-win cons, but it's not satisfying unless there's some amount of challenge. And there's just not a high enough amount of challenge, I would say, in Thassa's Oracle. All right, we're going to pass. Opponent passes. Ooh, I'm glad you didn't say Feed the Swarm. I mean, I do hate Feed the Swarm. I'm sure that's just like Boomer yelling at the cloud stuff, but Dries, welcome to the Fishbowl. I do really hate black enchantment removal. That is one of my least favorite things, but it doesn't make the top 3 list. What was the tester story about One Ring? I saw that a minute ago. So there's a video by Canister, who worked as a... I mean, there's also cards I dislike, like Unholy Heat or Feed the Swarm, but I don't think they are on the Ragavan level. So there's a video by Canister, who was contracted to help test for the Lord of the Rings set. And when the testers, which apparently were him and Aspiring Spike, saw the One Ring, it was like a 5-mana equipment. It was like a 5-mana equipment that didn't have like any real modern potential. So somehow it changed from a 5-mana equipment with essentially no modern potential to a card that is kind of breaking every format. How do we do this? It feels likely. So our opponent played Halo Forger. They could have flashback and killed one of our things. Instead, they left up 2 mana. 3, 6, 7. Which makes me feel like it's very likely they're going to counter a Farewell here. Another Mastermind we can... I think our best line... Okay, this is kind of wild, but I think what we do here is play Broker's Hideout. It triggers. Then we Virtue of Knowledge the Broker's Hideout. Double ramp. This should gain us enough life. Plus, we want to sack this Werefox to get rid of the Tillion's Messenger. I think this works out in a way that we're going to gain enough life that we don't die. So we go up to 10. We pass the turn. Oh, they have a counter. They do have a counter. So we go to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ugh. We can't really beat a counter here, can we? Opponent hits us. Down to 3. Oh, there's no way to beat this counter. How do we beat this counter? Is there anything we could top deck? I guess it would be exactly Ossification. Ossification, copy it. Oh, what do we do? So what do you think, chat? Should we just sack the Werefox Bodyguard and we're essentially all in on Farewell resolving? So if we drew Ossification, it still gets countered. Yeah, all right, whatever. I don't think we have another option here, really. I think this is all we can really do. So sack the Fox, gain some life. Land Farewell. Actually, I guess we get to attack first. Haha. Opponent. This is not suspicious at all. Exile all creatures. Exile, I guess, just all creatures. Do you have a counter? All right. Well, we knew that was a possibility. We knew it was opponent was playing like they had a counter. The Ossification line, I guess it depends on what the counter was. I don't think either one of them beat the Fairy counter spell. I think the Fairy counter spell is going to get us no matter what. I think the Ossification line could beat Make Disappear, potentially. No, maybe we got to go down another triplets as much as that hurts. And bring in the negates if our opponent's playing all those counters. Yeah, I mean, that is kind of the problem, right? Maybe our wraths are not strong enough in Standard. That's the issue. Our wraths are underpowered. Hey, Seth, have you had any luck with Beseech the Mirror? Been trying to get it to work with Pyromancer Ascension in Modern. So I played it a bit in Standard. It seems very powerful to me, but it's mostly getting Shieldrids. I haven't really played much Wilds of Eldraine outside of Standard yet. So I haven't really tried it in Modern. I did see it's a lot of counters, no blue mana. You know what? We're gonna try this. We're gonna attempt the Fates. We have an Ossification. We have every counter we could possibly want. Oh, Eternal Wonder is probably our worst draw here. Okay, we should not have tempted the Oh, we should not have tempted the Fates. We shouldn't have tempted the Fates. Yeah, I wonder. I mean, our sideboard is not really. All right. Yeah, good enough. Our sideboard is not really built for aggro like at all because aggro just doesn't exist. But yes, I think the temporary lockdown would massacre fairies. I'm just not sure if it's worth it. Like, is it worth it to sideboard? Yeah, I guess we should have just mulliganed it. The 2-lander. It's a 2-lander where if we hit our lands, it's actually pretty good against fairies, I think, because we have counters. But Definitely risky. Well, we lost one. So I pulled the Beseech the Mirror from the pack. Should I sell it now so I can get more cards, or do you think its value will increase? So I was just looking at the price of it. It's like $60 right now. There are not many cards in in-print sets. Like, if we just look at Standard, I think it might be, like, beyond outside of Shoulder, the most expensive card in the format. Charles Matrix, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So you have Shielder at $72. What's the next most expensive Standard card? Like, I guess Meat Hook Massacre is still $38, even though it's banned. All this to say, it is really rare for cards in in-print sets to be worth more than like $20-25. So seeing that Beseech is $55-60 right now, I would easily snap sell it while the price is high. I think there's risk that it gets banned in older formats, and the set's going to be open. I think it is probably at its ceiling now. If I had copies, I would, without a doubt, lean towards just selling them right away. It's almost already at Shieldred prices. Like, if it was $20 or something, then I think there'd be a conversation to have. Then there'd be a conversation of like, okay, like if it takes off in Legacy, could it? Golgari fairies. Oh, is this like a Goyf graveyard deck? Are they just surveilling with Fairy Dream Theft? But yeah, if it was like $20, there could be a conversation on, okay, if it takes off in Legacy, maybe it goes up in value or something. But it's $55-60. I think it's very easy to sell. I mean, Beseech the Mirror is kind of busted in non-standard formats. I think there's been like a weekend, not even a weekend, a day or two of play since it released, and there's already decks performing in like Legacy with turn 1 wins and so forth with Beseech. So I think that's where the hype and the demand is going to come from. Not so much Standard or maybe even Modern. I saw Aspiring Spike talking on Twitter about how he had found Beseech not to be very good in Modern, but I think Legacy and Vintage is where it's going to be really, really good to busted, basically. Arena ossifying this is going to... You know what? We can just get a land, right? Well, that's just ambitious farmhand. Get a land. We're going to have sacrifice fodder. If our opponent plays Shieldred, next turn we could copy the ossification, get rid of both of them. If our opponent doesn't play Shieldred, another Fairy Dream Theft. If they don't play Shieldred, then we can just double ramp or something. Nashi hits a Panharmonicon. All right, opponent, would you like a Panharmonicon? How good is a Panharmonicon in your deck? Oh, they played a Panharmonicon. What is happening? What is this? Golgari Fairies? Golgari Fairy Ninjas? With our Panharmonicon now? What a world. What a world we live in. Now I don't know what we're doing. Now I don't know what we're even doing. So I guess we can play the land in double ossification and get... I mean, I guess we got to get rid of Nashi. I mean, we could also just play a blocker. We don't want to get hit by Nashi again. Yeah, opponents got some... They have some spice going on. They're putting us to shame at the moment. Well, okay, let's... I think this is the safest line. Ossification. Do we need to double it, though? Do we even care about the Liliana? Yeah, I guess we should. So ossification, the Nashi. Virtue, copy the ossification. Get rid of the Lily.
Sorry, I'm not interested in...
And then hit you with the farmhand. They do get to double surveil, I guess. Maybe they're a Panharmonicon deck after all. Yeah, they do get to double the surveil trigger. Who knows what else they could have? All right, Fairy Dream Theft, double surveil. Kind of busted. And then they can draw with the other Fairy Dream Theft. Nashi. Battlefly Swarm. What? What is happening? As long as our opponent doesn't play Shieldred, I'm going to be very impressed with what they're doing. If this ends with them playing Shieldred, I'm going to be a little sad. Depressed rather than impressed. But so far... Oh, if they... No. No, you're not like... You don't have a way to blow that up. No, no, no. They're looking at that ossification. Okay, passes. Well, Spirited Companion, draw a card. And ossification. This is awkward to ossify a Fairy Dream Theft, but it is something they can ninjutsu off of. And I don't really want them to ninjutsu another Nashi. I got the Nashi fear. Oh, it does look like a Gix stack, doesn't it? You know what we need is we need a Gruff. Panharmonicon into Gruff. GG opponent. Opponent. Ooh, okay, they actually get to tutor with Dig Up. That's actually kind of scary. All right, tutors up. Probably an answer to our ugh. Wow, Terra Sunder. Nashi, Lily. Takes down.
Off you go.
Well, we will play Panharmonicon. Play Beseiju, pass the turn. Oh, I'm very scared of getting hit by Nashi again. Okay, here they go. Spin it to win it, opponent. Spin it to win it. If they hit Elish Norn, I'm streams. Okay, Legend rules their Liliana. If they hit Elish Norn off this Nashi, I swear. Stream over. Stream over. Wow, Virtue of Persistence. God. And they have a Panharmonicon. What is going on? How are we losing to Nashi? Opponent down to 7. Well, Spirited Companion, draw a couple cards. Hopefully they're good cards. Land. Ossification. Ossification. Get rid of Nashi. Get rid of Lily. Broker's Hideout. Get a Forest. But now our opponent gets to reanimate from our deck with a Panharmonicon every turn and draw multiple cards. Do you think this set'll make any aggro deck tier 1, or at least make the control decks weaker? I hope so, but I am not super convinced that that'll happen.
When I win, you're telling me what
This has been one of the least likely losses that I think I've ever experienced in a game of Magic. I can't believe, like, this is the high roll of high rolls. Our opponent, Nashi. Normally Nashi hits a land, and it's pretty useless. Our opponent Nashi'd into our Panharmonicon, and then Nashi'd into their Virtue of Persistence, and we just keep drawing lands. That was, I have never seen Nashi even be a little bit good. That is That is the Nashi dream. That is the, like, the last time that you do the Nashi against the odds, that's the last match. That's the finisher, but we're going into the wrap up. That's the, like, oh my god, it finally it finally happened. Yeah, that was Nashi's 15 minutes. Everything lined up for Nashi there in a hilariously effective way. The opponent's deck was gas. I mean, the idea of our opponent's deck is neat. I think the Nashi was rolling 20s though to just hit the bombs. Got 2 hits in with Nashi, and both of them were just the full on bombs. No middle ground. Full on Nashi dreams. Yeah, they did the Panharmonicon reverse Reno there. They got our Panharmonicon and then our Spirited Companion somehow. What are the chances? Well, bring in a little more removal running like that. If I'm to lose, let me lose to people like the opponent over there. Full space, no regrets. Yeah, that is the way to do it, right? At least you're seeing interesting things going on, which doesn't always happen in the modern era of Magic the Gathering. Opponent, after seeing Nashi go off last game, they're mulliganing, I assume, for Nashi. You got mulligan for the Nashi. I think we grab a forest here. We can get blue off of the Stomper. I don't think we're going to be virtuing early. Opponent, swamp, and passes. Well, plains and go. Opponent, swamp, and passes. Well, dual land in Topiary Stomper. For a island. Go. Opponent going to kill the Topiary Stomper. Sure. Swamp. Wow, they are actually straight up a Nashi deck. They are actually a Nashi deck. I didn't know there was such a thing. So what do we do here? I think we just do it like this. Barra's headquarters, run out the Werefox. We do this main phase because we really don't want our opponent to randomly get in a Nashi hit, which they could if they had a removal spell. So I think we do a main phase. If we wait till their turn, they can kill it with the trigger on the stack and they still get to attack. All right, opponent has a cut down. And okay. Ossification. Get rid of the Nashi. Should we cycle this? Probably. Yeah, let's cycle now in case we hit a tap land. Alright, into a Stomper. Pass the turn. Alright, chill with the Nashis for a minute, opponent. Beseiju. Ashiok. Alright. So, gonna take up to draw a card. Exiles a Stone Brain. Well, Topiary Stomper. Get a Forest. Kill the Ashiok. I think Stoke Midnight might actually be a good card. Yes, you can copy a cycle land with a Virtue. Liliana.
No more distractions.
And opponent takes down.
I've always hated crowds.
Alright, opponent is really good at getting back their Nashi. I will give them that. Gets it for 1. Now, Elishnorn. And yeah, I guess we pass. Please tell me you don't have another removal spell. Ashiok. And Fairy Dream Theft. Okay, okay. Opponent gonna tick up.
We all have things we'd rather forget.
I think we're actually just super dead here. Like, I feel like we are incredibly dead. Opponent exiles a Beseju. Takes the other card. We draw the worst Panharmonicon. I mean, the problem is they get to just kill the Elishnorn here with the Liliana. And we're doing nothing. And they're gonna, watch them, they're gonna spin into it. You know they're gonna spin into it. You know they're gonna spin into it. You know it's happening. This is the Nashi Dream game. You know what's gonna happen. You know it's the bomb. Hey Seth, I've had an idea in my head for a bit. You can go infinite with Vantress Visions and a copy spell. Whew. So wait. So what spell could you copy? What spell could you copy with Vantress Visions to go infinite? Opponent has another Nash. He was thinking about. All right, there we. That's more like it. A random one drop. We're still in very bad shape though, unless we draw something. This Ashiok is still going off. Yeah, our opponent is very set for enchantment based. Very set for enchantment based removal. They're playing a ridiculous number of ways to blow up ossification. Stonebraid, Giarmacello, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You copy Vantress's Vision and copy another copy, and the copy copies another trigger that copies Van. Oh, wait, I'm so confused. So a Vantress's Vision trigger can't copy a Vantress's Vision trigger because it's not activated or triggered ability. Is there a trigger you can put on the... I'm confused. I'm confused by how it would work. Let's Spirited Companion. Draw 2 cards. And Spirited Companion. Draw a card. Oh. And... yeah, I guess we do this. Copy it. Draw a card. Draw a card. Alright. That is still an Ashiok. Opponent. Still an Ashiok is 7 that we still don't really have an answer for. Wait, so... I'm very confused. Oh. Wow, that actually changes things quite a bit. Opponent takes up. This being an exile actually makes Ashiok game ending. Yeah, that's an issue. Wow, well, I mean... alright, sure. Well, I mean, that was... I am skeptical about this part of our opponent's deck, but it was cool to see Ashiok go off. I think our opponent's deck lined up very well with our deck because our deck doesn't play any real removal. And our opponent's deck is really, really, really designed to blow up enchantment-based removal. They're just playing so many random enchantment-based removal spells that, is there any way to get out of this? We have to literally kill the Ashiok right now, or else we're dead. That doesn't do it. Well, Woodland Acolyte. Draw 2 cards. Gotta be the Stoke Virtue. Broker's Hideout and dead. Wait, so I'm very confused how you're trying to go infinite with Vantress's Vision. Well, I mean, it was cool to see Ashiok go off. That's the first time I've seen Ashiok go off. It actually did well there. We make an Ashiok deck. I'm sure we'll play some Ashiok at some point. I don't know if we'll ever experience the dream that our opponent just did, but we can give it a try. I don't know if it'll ever run as well as that. So wait, what can you? So the idea is you like. I don't understand how two Vantress's visions copy each other. That's the part I'm confused about. Like how do you copy multiple things with? How does a Vantress Visions copy a Vantress's Vision because it's not a triggered ability? Wow, okay. And fairies. Opponent. OP explained. You have one Vantress's Vision, you have one Vantress's Vision, you have two copy triggered abilities. Let's play Plains. But like, give me an example of ability you're copying. Like, what ability are you actually copying? I think that might make it make sense if there's an actual thing we're talking about rather than the abstracts. Complete the circuit copies as a triggered ability. Complete the circuit. So you may cast sorcery spells Zoid. Flash the next instant sorcery spell you cast this turn. Copy that spell twice. You can choose new targets for the copy. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, put an ability on a stack, and then complete the circuit the ability, and then Vantress's Vision, or complete the circuit the Vantress's Vision to keep copying it. Okay, that I think could actually work. That makes sense. Yeah, I think complete the circuit could do some things. Yeah, let's just Woodland Acolyte. Yeah, yeah, it would be cool. That could be like a cool against the odds trick to do with something. It does seem like you need a lot of mana or a lot of things to try to convoke to try to make the mana work, but it does seem like a lot of things need to go right. I don't think Vantress's Vision would work with Neoform, right? Is the opponent trying to play mono blue super annoying that deck? All right. Well, get rid of the Fairy Mastermind. Oh my goodness. Oh. Is this becoming a play pattern again? Are we back to people trying to play mono blue Curious Obsession? The opponent goes attacking. Passes. We draw land. Okay. Ossification. Anyway, about less unhinged combo stuff, I recently put together a Phyrexian Cleric deck. It does better than I expected. Ooh, that sounds sweet. What are the cleric payoffs in Standard? Wow, this is seems like a no-win matchup for our deck. So how could we possibly beat Mono Blue Curious Obsession? Oh, that's right. That's right. There's I forgot that there was randomly a Phyrexia or randomly a Cleric Lord in Standard. That was one of like the super oddball tribes to randomly get a Lord. That sounds sweet. What's your list look like, Destructible Watermelon? Yeah, it's not literally mono blue, but the play pattern is definitely seems modeled after the mono blue Curious Obsession deck. Just like play a 1-mana flyer, put a Curious Obsession on it, try to counter all your opponent's stuff. Are there any decks worth crafting right now? I mean, do you have the decks that were good in the last standard? I think until further notice, I would assume that the best decks are still the best decks from before until we get some actual results. So far there's like literally zero results from new standard. Well, Triplets Tron seems sweet, but there is no way they will ever do anything in this matchup. So yeah, I would say just wait another week or two. I mean, there's stuff to craft for fun. Like, there's cool, fun things to do. But if your goal is to, like, have a deck that's gonna be competitive or whatever, I would lean towards waiting a little bit just to see what the meta looks like. The Cookie deck definitely felt solid. I think that deck felt really good. No idea how it's gonna line up though against. We haven't really played it against the Esper control, Dimir control meta, which is kind of the top tier of the meta right now. But yeah, that deck did feel really good. Get in, hit your opponent down to 19. You gonna flash in your dork? Fairy Vandal. Well, we will wear Fox Bodyguard. Get rid of it. Opponent. What about you, Chad? You found anything that you think is like legitimate top tier? Opponent gonna do so many Fairy Dream Thefts. People seem to really love this Fairy Dream Theft card. Well, go to combat. Get in, hit ya. Probably more interesting than the Phyrexian Cleric deck is my Halo Fountain deck that actually regularly hits the win condition. Ooh. Halo Fountain is a pretty cool alt win card. Well, let's Broker's Hideout. And Mantress Visions it. Alex Mateo, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat, thank you. The secret is Scheming Fence. Interesting. All right, opponent going to Spell Pierce. And Island gets hidden for 1. Fairy Fencing. Well, let's Ossification. Yeah, alright. Yeah, Ossification. Get rid of the Fairy Vandal. Go attacking. Omen Walker is really nice because it adds infinite card draw. Yeah, Omen Walker is a super cool underrated card. Trying to live the ramp dream, but mostly just getting countered by mono blue. Opponent, Fairy Mastermind. Topiary Stomper. We will grab a Forest. Go attacking. I'm pretty sure this is my least favorite archetype. Oh, the mono. This is giving me horrible flashbacks to that mono blue deck. Oh, miserable archetype. Who would you cast if they ever made a Gatewatch movie? Oh, God. I am like the worst person to ask this of. I'm so oblivious and bad when it comes to pop culture stuff. I do not have a good answer. What does chat think? Who would be a good option for a Gatewatch movie? So if we draw a card, they're gonna draw a card. Fairy Mastermind's so good. I guess we gotta do it though. Yeah, Bojack Horseman in every role. Werefox Bodyguard's actually a pretty good draw. Alright, pass the turn. Fairy Vandal. Well, we will Werefox Bodyguard. Get rid of the Fairy Mastermind. Last card is a Shore Up. Opponent untaps. Land. Everybody draws. And Ego Drain. That's a whiff. I think we might get him here. This looks bad for our opponent. Like, they hit us a little bit, but this turns on our Stomper, right? This turns on our Topiary Stomper. And we get to flip the Ambitious Farmhand. And this is a big chunk of damage. Opponent down to dead. Scarlett Johansson. Oh, that'd be a good one. Chris Pratt. All right, can we beat the fairies? Can we go out a winner by beating the fairies? Is there any chance? On the play even. All right, Magic Gods. I know we're asking for a miracle of miracles. Please, please, please let us beat these fairies. All right, read it like that. Couple counters. Oh, Scarlett Johansson is Jace. That would be sweet. As long as I don't cast anyone from Wheel of Time. Okay, Hugh Jackman. I could see Hugh Jackman as Gideon. I wonder, do you think they'll ever do a Gatewatch movie? Could it happen? Do you think it would succeed? If they could make, I know the D&D movie like kind of succeeded, right? If they could make a Magic movie with the Gatewatch that was of the same quality of the D&D movie, which was like, I saw some highlights of it. I never actually like watched the whole movie, but if they could make it of that quality, do you think it could actually work? Sand doesn't have any removal, which scares me, but we'll see. We'll see if we're getting snowballed by the card draw. Broker's Hideout for an island. Go. We do have an Invasion of Gabakon. Razor Verge Second. Invasion of Gabakon. Opponent's going to counter. Okay. Well, we got a Woodland Acolyte that can get that back. Opponent land and passes. Man the Wilds for Invasion of Gabakon. Opponent plays a Boira. Okay, so we draw Invasion of Gabakon. Play the land. Invasion of Gabakon. Oh. 2 Fairy Masterminds and a cut down. Well, we're definitely taking a Fairy Mastermind. Yeah, those are really good against us. They're good against our Panharmonicon card draw plan. The D&D movie was fun, but they effed up Warcraft, so I think it's 50-50. That's probably about right, actually. So if we play this, and they get to draw a card 2, That's not ideal. Not ideal. Well, okay, yeah, sure. Sure, I think we gotta do it. Opponent, Fairy Mastermind. We get drained. We draw a card. Our opponent draws a card. Alright, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Oh no! That's very bad for us. All right, now our opponent's drawing extra cards every turn. This is the mono blue Curious Obsession about it. Yep, draws an extra card to have a counter. Plays a land. Ego Drain. Yeah, that probably does it now. So we get back the land. They can take the Eternal Wander, and I don't know how we ever do anything from here. The Eternal Wander was our one sort of chance to get out of this. Well, go to combat. Attack the invasion. Play Broker's Hideout. Copy Broker's Hideout. Opponent. Drew another counter, of course. Well, grab a plains. And, alright, I guess we passed the turn. Opponent. Untaps and draws. Brothers War would make an incredible movie. I feel like you'd stand a better chance getting old fogies like myself in there for the Jesus League on board. Yeah. I just wonder if it's iconic enough. Well, Ossification is probably our best draw here. So we're going to attack the invasion. Our opponent is going to kill our Woodland Acolyte. Well, let's see if they drew yet another counter. We're going to play Ossification. Actually, we're going to play the land. We're going to play Ossification. Come on. Yeah. You're gonna be kidding me. And we can't even get rid of the Aboira because it has Ward 1. Oh. Boy, we saw our opponent's hand 2 turns ago and they drew Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize, Spell Stutter. I mean, that's the upside of drawing a ton of cards each turn, I guess. All right, pass the turn. Opponent. All right, did they draw another counter spell? Werefox Bodyguard. Hits the Obira. Pay the ward. Vandra's Vision. On the Bodyguard. Please. Alright, well. We have temporarily answered the Fairy Onslaught. It's another Obira. Okay. Very temporarily. Opponent. Combat attacks. Down to 3. Well, that's that's how it ends. That's how it ends. So what do we learn? What do we learn about Panharmonicons? What do we learn about Panharmonicons today? And I gotta say, that was Glistening Deluge, which is creatures get -2, -1, -1, and if they're white, I think they give to -2. Not a card that you really see anyone play. Yeah, it's a pretty niche sideboard card. All creatures get -1, -1. Creatures that are white or green get an additional -2, -2. So it's like a unplayable sweeper, but it's sideboard tech for if you run into mono green or mono white, then it might be useful. I don't even know if it's that good against our deck, but it was definitely good in that scenario. Hey, what's up, Hallusian? How are you? You're coming in right at the end of the stream. So I gotta say, it's still Demir's world, and we're just living in it. We did get to see some really good. We got to see some really good games with Gruff Triplets. It is a really powerful card, and the deck has a lot of really cool, just like sneaky loops, sneaky tricks, sneaky value stuff. Virtue, the adventure mode, is really huge. That really does change the equation quite a bit as far as like a Panharmonicon. So overall, I really like this deck. I mean, it's a fun value Panharmonicon deck. As you saw, it's not a deck that's gonna line up very well against the like super efficient disruptive decks, which that's a lot of standard. Like there's a lot of decks that are just make disappearing and countering Panharmonicons, countering the Gruff Triplets. But when we actually get a chance to do our thing, it's pretty spectacular. So how is a White Hoof working out? I mean, it's like a one-of finisher. It's good at that role. It is very expensive, so it's not a card that comes up often. I think through all of our games, maybe like once or twice we saw it, but when you cast it, you win the game. And if you're not winning the game, then you just don't cast it. So I think it's a good one-of in that role. I don't think it can be much more than that because it's just so clunky. It's a card that just, outside of like the late game when you're ready to win, you just can't really do anything with it. But when you get to that scenario, it is a great way for all of a sudden your Spirited Companions and Ambitious Farmhands to just kill your opponent right away, which actually has a lot of value rather than like having to wait for 20 turns to like win by beating down with a 1/1 or something. So I really like what it does. It's just not something you see very often. So Virtue and Knowledge, I think it is one of the best Panharmonicons, that's for sure. In the Vantress's Vision mode offers some sneaky potential. So I think it's definitely a super fun deck. Just how good it is, I don't know. I don't know if we're back to the glory days of Panharmonicon yet, but we're probably closer than we've been in a while. So anyway, everyone, I think that brings us to the end of our stream for tonight. So reminders on the way out the door, replay YouTube. That's where you can find all the old streams, including this one in the future. Normal YouTube, tons of stuff coming up on there. Playing some more Standard for Much Brew tomorrow. One more reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. And if you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. And most importantly, thank you to all of you. Y'all are amazing and awesome and spectacular. And I love y'all so very much. I hope you have an amazing night. Have a spectacular weekend. And I'll see you on Tuesday to have some more fun. So until then, everyone, be good. I love y'all. And I will talk to you soon.